He was the 1975 batch topper in commerce graduation of Sambalpur University and was also a rank holder in CA examinations. He has over 45 years of experience in audit, taxation, finance, corporate law, and corporate governance. He has served as the statutory central auditor for major PSUs and PSBs, including SAIL, Oil India, NTPC, National Insurance Company, UCO Bank, Allahabad Bank, Union Bank of India, and presently handling the statutory central audit of NALCO and Canara Bank. He also regularly appears before Income Tax Appellate Tribunal and has audited several large private sector entities such as Mayfair Group. He has contributed to the profession through various committees of ICI, and presently he is a member of Committee for Members in Practice. He has been an independent director in multiple companies. He is also actively involved in social activities through Meera and Prashant Panda Foundation. Requesting everybody to please give a huge round of applause. May I request CA Soumya Ranjan Panda sir to come to the dais and present sapling to Prashant Panda sir. May I request CA Manoj Patra sir to come to the dais and present the sapling to Prashant Panda sir.
I would like to introduce our beloved CA Dr. Devashish Mitra, sir. Sir, two line. A visionary with strong academic leaning and having deep professional insight, he has been elected as the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for the year 2022 and 23. He has been serving the accounting profession for the last 34 years. Dr. Mitra, a senior practicing member, is also a cost accountant, company secretary, holds a master's degree in commerce, law, graduate, and a qualified information system auditor. He is also a PhD holder on the topic, a critical study of select Indian GAAP, US GAAP, and IAS and IFRS. He is a member of the board of CAW and the SAFA. He is in the capacity as a president ICI in a representative on International Integrated Reporting Council, IIRC. As an accomplished professional having immense knowledge of trade and industry, he has served as an active member of several prestigious boards, forums, and institutions in India. He also represented ICI in Uday Kotak Committee on Corporate Governance set up by SEBI, as well as the committee set up by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs for revision in Cairo. On international front, he was the chairman of Committee on Education, Training, and CPD of SAFA and member of Audit Group of CAPA. Please have a round of applause for us, sir.
May I request Prashant Panda sir to take over the session.
Good afternoon, respected guests, my senior members, past chairpersons, and my young chartered accountants who are present here. Namaskar and a very hearty welcome. It is my proud privilege to welcome to this stage a well-known person here, our past president, Dr. Debashish Mitra. And he is well known here, I think, to all of you. So I need not introduce him as a speaker. He is a teacher, a guide, a good leader, and he is a past president from our region. And I welcome you, sir, and thank you very much for accepting our invitation. With that, I add one line. My apologies for not having a great audience, probably being a lunchtime. So we need to have some more people to listen to you. Sir, we have our today's topic as strengthening of financial reporting for Viksit Bharat, governance, trust, and transparency. I think the last session was a related one on capital market. My topic and this topic both are related. Then how a strong reporting helps in sourcing capital from the capital market. We had 3 speakers on that. One is our president and the chairman of SEBI and the chairman of NSE. All 3 are not only distinguished speakers or eminent persons, but all 3 are authorities in this line. Our president, he is an authority from our side, and both SEBI chairman, a regulator, and NSE chairman is also an indirect regulator to the capital market. We heard Mr. Injeti Srinivasan. He spoke very detailedly about facts, that where we were about 10 years back, where we are today. He mentioned about 3,000 listed companies, almost 5 trillion of capital, our market capitalization of the companies there, and the demat account holders. This definitely is quite encouraging. With such kind of numbers, India is definitely on its path to a Viksit Bharat 2047. But simultaneously also told to achieve what we want to, where and how we can go. What are all the facilities which are being introduced? What are the regulations being introduced? Everything was discussed by both the NSE chairman and the SEBI chairman. This becomes quite relevant because whenever we are looking for a sourcing of funds from the market or from a bank or from bond or from any source, whether it is local or foreign investments, one thing always I look for is give me your financials. So without your financials, you will not get a single rupee. Not only getting it, even to continue to keep it, you have to keep your financials ready for verification by the authorities or your financiers. Here, to verify this or to prepare this and verify this financials, as a chartered accountant, we have our various guidelines. Our guidelines issued by ICAI, the MCA, our SEBI, all these people, NAFRA, everyone has issued various kinds of formats, guidelines, and compliance requirements from time to time. We have to meet that. Presently, what today our speaker will deal with, the various, I think, he will deal with our Schedule 3, how that is there. And Schedule 3, for this compliance requirements, you have so many parameters which has to be complied with. You have to put a accounting policy there. You have to give the notes to accounts that in accounting policy, you have to say what we have done in our, or what we have our, or rather SOP for our accounts. In your compliance requirements or in your notes to accounts, what you have done, that you have to also mention. Besides that, you have to give your internal, your financial control, IFC report has to be there, CARO report has to be there, your corporate governance report has to be there. So all these reports are as per various kinds of guidelines, and with that your audit report is there where you have to mention about your CAM, you have to meet the, or if there is any emphasis of matter, or you decide to qualify something. All these details are there, and if you are a listed company, then it is the LODR requirements also come. So with all these requirements, how these reportings are, how these formats or compliance requirements improves your financials and reporting thereon, or that is what he will explain to us. And I will like to only deal with I think there are 3 words they have put as governance, trust, and transparency. I like to put it as a better governance and transparency in your transactions, in your disclosures, will create a better trust on the financials what you are preparing. And as a chartered accountant, whether you are preparing the accounts or you are auditing the accounts, in either way, these requirements will be there, what he will be explaining today, how you can strengthen it. Because the trust of the stakeholders all depends on what kind of transparency and corporate governance have been considered in your preparation of your accounts. And a trustworthy accounts will always have a better position in sourcing the funds from the market, and that is what is the necessity for growth. And this Viksit Bharat, the 2047, yesterday I think our chief guest and our guest of honors also spoke about Viksit Bharat 2047 and Viksit Odisha 2036. So on both the areas, only thing we need is money, because capital, whether it is from internal or from external, capital is one thing which takes you ahead. Our economy, we are talking about maybe 3rd, 4th, or 5th. So we are in about a 4 trillion economy. China has reached almost about 18 trillion. America is about in 32 trillion. So with that kind of economy, with that kind of availability of money, growth becomes much, much faster. On a small example I give you, because lack of money, where does it take you? I think before we had this Cuttack Bhubaneswar road, we had just a 2-lane road. We expanded it to 4-lane. At that time it was considered that it will cost about 4 crore rupees per kilometer. We didn't have much money, so we had about 4-lane. Now they are thinking about putting 6-lane. They may think about going to 8-lane. And the road which goes to Nandankanan, they widened it. Now they are thinking of putting a road above that. So we didn't have adequate money to do that. But last 1 month, I was traveling in US. Any road they construct, I found it's a 12-lane road. All expressway road means it's a 12-lane road. So that's only possible because they have money. And the kind of growth which is expected, what we have achieved in last about 10, 15 years, maybe before that, and what we are expecting beyond that is more funds, more development, and a Viksit Bharat. So for a developed India, we need to have a better economic condition, and for sourcing of funds from India or abroad, we have to have a better financials, better reporting, and a trustworthy account certified by us will always get us better money. Our speaker will speak on this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, very much for your beautiful insights. Now I would request CA Dr. Devashish Mitra, sir, to come and express his views on today's topic.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to all of you. The chairman of this session, Mr. Prasad Panda, former chairman of this great branch. I can see two chairmen whom I know, Mihir Sahu and Manoj Patra. There are so many other past chairmen who are sitting here. Ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good afternoon to all of you. I know all of you are, many of you are hungry, would like to go for a lunch break. What I will do is this, not take more than 20-25 minutes. And I hope that in that time, by the time when you go for lunch, you would have learned something which you did not know of earlier. I hope that that's the whole, the way I will take it up. So, if you see my presentation, sorry. If you can hear me, all of you can hear me? Let's go. All right, you can see in the screen, right? Okay, give me that mic. But I think now you can hear it, right? Okay, all right. I said 25 minutes and I will not move and take you through, first of all, just sanitizing you with what's happening. You see, with the coming into force of Companies Act 2013, which you see on the screen, a lot of changes took place. The two, very important divisions came for financial reporting, Division 2. Earlier, we were used to talk about depreciation. We used to say SLM, written down value method, those kind of things. But with the coming in force of Division 2, they said, we are going to give you a useful life and you decide on the depreciation. That's what they said. So that is what happened here in the financial Division 2. Division 3 had something else. It gave us a format of balance sheet, format of PL, format of cash flow. Whatever I have said, is it right? I said that the Schedule 3, most of you have already done, contains the format of balance sheet, contains the format of PL, contains the format of cash flow. Am I right in whatever I am saying? If somebody can point out the mistake in whatever I have just now said. There's a mistake, in whatever I have said, there is a mistake now. Can somebody tell me? You see, Schedule 3 does not contain the format of a cash flow. It does not contain the format of a cash flow, right? Schedule 3 has 3 divisions, which you can see on the screen. Division 1 is for those who are doing non-Ind AS companies, non-Ind AS. That's the format. Division 2 is for those who are doing Ind AS companies, Ind AS, right? That is, for Ind AS companies, the younger ones. What should be the net worth? Anybody who can tell me, I'll be very happy at this stage. Or I'll be very disappointed if you cannot tell me the younger ones, right? The net worth for a company to be of Ind AS has to be 250 crores or more. And mind you, the term net worth has been already defined in the Companies Act. So if you are an Ind AS, then you go for Division 2. And if you are an NBFC, you go for Division 3. India is the only country which statutorily lays down the format of the financial statements. It lays down the format of the financial statements, right? So you see, in this Schedule 3, you have the format of the financial statements. You also have the disclosure requirements. So you are heavily regulated when you are doing financial reporting. You are heavily regulated. Unlike India, unlike IFRS, IFRS does not regulate you. IFRS is a principle-based standard. It says that you do this, but it does not regulate you to say that your balance sheet should be of this format. It does not say that, right? So if you see this, then Section 2, subsection 40 of the Companies Act. It defines what is a financial statement. And this section says the financial statement is a balance sheet, a PL, a cash flow, and the statement of changes in equity. That's what it says, right? And Section 2, subsection 40, that is the cash flow, is not applicable for a small company. That means a small company did not prepare a cash flow. It is not applicable for a dormant company. A dormant company also need not prepare a cash flow. There has been a change in the definition of small company effective from 1st of December. If somebody can tell me the change, I'll be very happy. I wish there were more people so that, you see, we could have made this accounting a lot of fun. Right? The whole idea is not to give you a lecture, but you see, to go back and have a lot of fun in this. 1st of December, there has been change in the definition of small company. They are saying that the small company is a company, has to be a private limited company whose paid up capital does not exceed 10 crores. Earlier it was 4 crores. Whose turnover does not exceed 100 crores. Earlier it was 40 crores. So they have, from 1st of December, they have just enhanced the paid up capital limit and the turnover limit of small companies. Consequently, these kind of companies, small companies, private limited companies, don't have to prepare cash flow. And you might also, Prasanth Pandaji was also talking about Caro, they might also be exempted from Caro reporting. Right? So you see, you have a lot of this. So please note that the new definition of small companies, which has come into force from 1st of December 2025. It's oven fresh. It's just come in. Right? So please note that. So consequently, those of us who had some difficulty in preparing cash flows, you did not, because now many of the companies, they are being covered. We have in India, when you are preparing financial statements, 2 sets of accounting standards. One set of accounting standards which we all follow, that is, most of us follow. Maybe Prasanth Pandaji with his big companies, he follows Ind AS, or some of us who are sitting here, we follow Ind AS. But usually, if you are a company which is not listed, that is, which is not a public interest entity, we follow something called Companies Accounting Standard Rules 2006, which was notified on the 7th of December 2006. There are 27 accounting standards under those rules. 27 effective accounting standards. Right? But if you are a bigger company, for example, if you are listed or if you are having a net worth of 250 crores or more, you follow something else which is called the Ind AS. And this Ind AS came into effect from 2015. Right? So by this time, I think all of us, we have got the hang of it, right? That's the whole, the financial reporting system in India. But many of us, we do this non-corporate. I have been talking till now about corporate entities. Many of us, we do non-corporate entities. Now, for the non-corporate entities, the institute has come up with definition. The Companies Act does not talk about non-corporates because the Companies Act does not deal with non-corporate entities. So what the institute has done, it has said that let us define what is a non-corporate entity. So I'll just show you what the institute has said. Institute has said non-corporate entities could be 2 types. One is micro, small, and medium. The other is large. Right? The large entities have to follow more stringent accounting standards if you are non-corporate. Right? And then, what is the definition? Their institute has gone ahead and defined this medium-sized and large size by way of turnover and borrowings, which you can see on the screen. ये definition change हो गया. अभी आप those of us who are old timers, जो पहले हम भी old timer हैं, जो पहले we used to talk about level 1, level 2, level 3. You recall? We used to talk about all the levels, level 1, level 2, level 3 accounting standards. All those level 1, level 2, level 3 are all gone now. कोई अभी level 1, level 2 नहीं है. अभी सिर्फ large entity है या small, medium and small है. Level 1, level 2, level 3 कुछ नहीं है अभी. And for defining what's a large and what is a medium and small, they are going by the borrowings, they are going by the turnover. आप अगर देखेंगे borrowings 50 crores, turnover limit is 250 crores. Right? So this defines. So if you are a large one, you have to follow more accounting standards, more stringent accounting standards. If you are not a large one, you follow lesser stringent accounting standards. So I hope now I have taken you through the accounting standards. I'm not touching auditing standards, by the way. Auditing standards are also Section 143 of the Companies Act. There are about 43 of them. If you do audit, you have to comply with auditing standards. You have no choice. But my topic is not auditing standards. I don't want to speak on this, right? So see, let me just put. No problem. कीजिए ना. I think he wants me to speak louder. मैं अभी ना आपको दूसरा चीज में लेकर आना. Something which you might think that ये सब चीज, but Indian cinemas बॉस अगर ज़्यादा करेगा तो हाथ पे दे दो ना, बिकॉज मेरा फ्लो तुम खत्म कर रहे हो. If Mr. Pandey would have been here listening to me, or if Mr. Injiti Srinivas would have been here listening to me, they would have loved this, whatever I'm going to say. This is totally SEBI-defined thing, right? They are saying that, boss, क्या तुम अभी बैलेंस शीट का बात करता है? Financial reporting. What you are talking about PL, Debashish, Schedule 3 you are talking about, talk about non-financial reporting. Carbon emission का बात करो ना. हाँ, तुम्हारा कौन बात सुनेगा? तुम्हारा ट्रू एंड फेयर, बोल तुम्हारा सब चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट तुम्हारा बात सुनेगा. हम लोग सेबी में बात नहीं सुनेगा. वी आर इंटरेस्टेड इन BRSR, बिजनेस रिपोर्टिंग एंड business responsibility and sustainability reporting, BRSR. It is for top 1,000 listed companies. It's a list of 140 questions, out of which 98 you have to answer compulsorily, and the balance 42 are voluntary answers. It's for 1,000 top listed companies, BRSR. If you are doing, you have to follow, if you are doing this kind of big ones, you have to follow BRSR. अभी problem ये हो गया sir, I think ESG will be discussed at some point of time, right? Environment, social and governance. I am sure, see, ESG will be discussed at some point of time. This seminar or conference must be having. अपना chartered accountant भाई लोग बोलता है, what we have to do with environment? Carbon emission तो हम लोग कभी सीखा ही नहीं. Why you should bother about carbon emission? Right? So you see, why you should bother about it? But SEBI is saying that you have to go for BRSR reporting. What is happening, sir, is this. Non-financial reporting is getting more importance than financial reporting. What is the woman empowerment in your company? How good is your board run? Those kind of things the chartered accountants will have to go in the Viksit Bharat that you have given me the topic of the future. You cannot really, you see, stick to your balance sheet and PL, you have to go for this. Now, आप बोलेंगे that this is only for listed companies. Debashish, why you are unnecessarily scaring us by talking about things which you don't do? 1,000 top listed companies, how many of us we do 1,000 top listed companies? So why are you scaring us with all this? Right? If the Secretary Ministry of Corporate Affairs would have been here, Madam Mukherjee, she would have said that Debashish is right. Because what the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is now thinking is, to what extent they can enhance this whole concept to also the non-listed companies. Also the non-listed. They are now thinking about it. That we are, you see, this sustainability reporting, even for non-listed companies. So there is an opportunity and there lies a challenge. Now, what is the opportunity also here? Now, you see, SEBI has introduced something called BRSR Core. That is, to what extent ESG has been complied with, you have to do an assurance. Usko audit karna padega. Earlier, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, when I was the president, I said the Chartered Accountant audit karega. I saw there a great opportunity. But then SEBI said, at that time, Madam was there as the chairman SEBI, she said that, boss, how can I restrict it to chartered accountants? Carbon emission, bagara, how will you find out? So she said that, look, I will make it bigger. Let other people also come into the fray. If you're good, you do the audit, no problem, right? So, how many of you know that the institute has issued a guidance on carbon gas emission? Institute has issued a guidance, right? You must be knowing, right? You must be knowing, right? So institute does a lot of work, but now my job is to make you move a bit. Sir, the future in Viksit Bharat for financial reporting will be a shift from financial to non-financial. People will be more interested in your non-financial than your financial. Carbon emission, आपका कितना हो गया? For example, today's conference that you are there. I'm sure, I don't know, I have, they will at some point of time ask you, was it carbon neutral? Today's conference. Today's conference. When we did the World Congress, it is top class, very good, fantastic. अरे बॉस हमको मुझे इधर उधर दिखाना नहीं पड़ेगा, है तो है, बस You see, but mind you, in World Congress, when you did it in 2022, people they came to say it was, even IFAC was not aware. They said, make it net zero. Now, I was the president, and I'll be very, very frank with you. I said, what? Kya baat karta hai baba, net zero, ये सब क्या चीज है? They said that net zero. So they said that the carbon emission should be such that the impact is zero. I said, how will you find out? For example, Debashish Mitra, president, will like to say, tell everybody, I have got a net zero conference. They said, sir, wait. There are people, for you, there are people who certify. There are people who certify whether it is a carbon neutral conference or not. So if you want to really get a carbon neutral, you have to get a certificate. There are people who certify this, right? For example, Eastern Regional Council, they just had the 50th regional conference. The chairman of EIRC, he was showing the certificate to everybody. It's my net zero carbon neutral conference, see the certificate, those kind of things, right? So you see, that is the way we are moving, sir. That's the way we are moving. The future, we are moving that way. And when he says that I have done net zero, I'm not surprised. Let me tell you, I'm not surprised. Somebody else will be, but I'm not surprised because that should be the scheme of things. That is what is expected of us. So, financial reporting in Vikshit Bharat, it will be more stress on non-financial. अगर हम लोग बोलेगा carbon emission, हम लोग का जानकारी नहीं है what is this carbon emission, will be kept aside. SEBI will say, in that case, don't touch BRSR. You all guys are not fit. Don't touch BRSR. You all guys are not fit. But if you say that, look, he immediately caught on. If you say that, sir, we are a net zero conference. What are you talking about, sir? How many conferences are net zero? He will stand up and say, oh, is it? Good, top class. And I'm sure if Mr. Pandey would have heard this net zero, he would have given you a thumbs up. Right? He would have certainly given you a thumbs up. Right? So that's how it is. That's how the things are moving, right? So, I am coming to something which also might be a topic here, but AI was, somebody was telling me that Debashish, in 3 years' time, will we exist as a profession as we exist today? That is, will AI almost obliterate us? Right? Bill Gates said that 2 professions will be affected immensely by AI. Bill Gates. He said the legal profession and the accountancy profession. Why? Because both these professions, to a great extent, we do repetitive work. Audit में क्या करते हैं? सब vouching करते हैं, transaction करते हैं, repetitive. Wherever we do repetitive work, AI takes over that repetitive work. It does better than humans. It does better than humans. So there we get impacted, sir. You are doing a financial reporting in Tally, right? What has happened? Earlier days, you see, the trial balance tallying was so difficult. And when you used to tally the trial balance, people like us, seniors, we used to give a party. In came Tally, and then trial balance tallying was no problem. Everybody did trial balance tallying. Now with AI coming in, they will say, what trial balance, boss? I will have to see, show whether there is a fraud. AI will talk about only fraud. And we don't talk about fraud so much. Right? We are saying the true and fair, reasonable assurance. AI bolega, what reasonable assurance? What true and fair? It should be true and correct. Once you go into true and correct, your hands are tied. Financial reporting. Hands are tied. What do I do? One fraud I miss, I have had it. And with AI coming in, one standard that will be very much impacted will be the standard on sampling. हम लोग क्या करते हैं सब जो बैठे हुए हैं टेस्ट चेक करते हैं. Yes or no? We all do test check in the audit, sir. We all do test check. And then we say that we could not find out a fraud, all the frauds, because we do test check. We do not do 100% checking. Right? And there is a standard sampling. Auditing standard है, sir. Auditing standard मुझे बोलता है कि test check करो. With AI coming in, and mark my words, in 3 years' time, this standard on sampling is going to go. And all of us sitting here, advantage will be 100% checking will be done by AI. The disadvantage will be you have to report on all frauds. That's how it is. But with AI coming in, what will be the challenge for a professional with AI coming in? Bias. Because you see, AI works on input provided by humans. If you provide them biased inputs, the output will also be bad. Many of us, when you studied, those of us who passed out, Prasant Pandaji, my baby, we used to talk about GIGO, garbage in, garbage out, right? So they're also talking about similar thing, right? This thing. And AI, the topic is transparency. AI is like a black box. We don't know how it came to a conclusion, right? If AI is a black box, and if we all think that we are doing a financial reporting based on AI, and how AI has got these figures we really don't know, then we are in trouble. The profession is in trouble. So the profession must challenge that black box. What is inside that black box? So does it mean that the profession has to be expert in AI? Not at all. What we must do is, we must have a general idea about what this AI system is doing. ChatGPT. मुझे अगर ये सवाल का जवाब under 10 minutes, but let's have a good time. AI was there from 1950s. Why you are speaking about AI so much? All of you, as soon as I have started speaking about AI, all of you have started listening to me. If somebody can give me an answer, AI was there from 1950s. But why suddenly we have started, Birinchi Mishra now, suddenly you see he's bothered about AI. He says, if you don't know AI, what professional you are? You see, he will talk like that. Why suddenly we have started bothering about something which was there from 1950s? Because of? No, sir. Automation was there in 60s, 70s, sir. No, sir. Input was also computerized to a great extent. In 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s also. You see, it was there. What happened? Why suddenly all of us sitting here are suddenly aware about whatever I am talking about? Why hallucination? Why the Chief Justice of India talks about hallucination in AI? Suddenly he's talking about that. Right? Hallucination mein bolunga wo kya bola? Right? But my first question is, he's saying, it's become, but what happened? Something happened. AI has been there from 1950s. It is not something which is there now. But something happened. You see, when I'm giving you when the World Congress was held, it has nothing to do with the World Congress, but at that time, something happened which ensured that the AI came into the center stage. Sir, 2022 mein COVID khatam ho gaya tha. That's why World Congress was held. So, it is not that. If somebody can tell the younger ones, कुछ ऐसा चीज हुआ जिसके लिए everybody got involved into this whole thing. Who said that? Huh? Can you raise your hand? Stand up, stand up. Can we have a round of applause for him? What happened was, in November 2022, ChatGPT came. And with its ChatGPT, they used AI, and with this ChatGPT, the whole scenario changed. ChatGPT says. ChatGPT came. Very good, top class. That's what happened. ChatGPT came, and with this ChatGPT, the whole AI scenario changed. Today, all of us use, you see, some of us, Rajiv is sitting here, when he does type reports, he does not. Anything that he wants, he gives in ChatGPT 5, and the report comes like this. And that is the profession. The other day, somebody came in to ask me, hey, Debashish, you don't do income tax? No, I said, no, but I know income tax. But boss, I have got 40 lakhs as Keyman insurance. Keyman insurance is not something which is very popular. He said that I have got 40 lakhs as Keyman insurance. Is it taxable? So Keyman insurance is something that we don't do every day, right? So I said that let me look at the Income Tax Act. Well, that Debashish, he put a paper in front of me. Well, can you see it? I said, what is it? I found that he had got a note. ITAT Calcutta, in this year, they have passed a judgment about non-taxability of this. High Court of Delhi High Court passed this judgment. I said, from where have you got? From where have you got? Sabat here they say he will know about income tax and how it is impacting him. From where? Debash, I'm very sure. But my accountant in my office, he used ChatGPT, put this question, and the ChatGPT has given the answer. And let me tell you, the answer was 100% correct. 100% correct. Now, who is going to come to us? When they have the answers in their office, he just typed it in the ChatGPT, but answers. But what Chief Justice Chandrachud said at that time was, when he was Chief Justice, hallucination. Bolta hai, boss, people are coming to me in the court, citing that, you see, in the case of Snow White, you see, such and such a thing has happened, sir, and this thing. Well, he's giving a list of citations. I cannot verify citations. He's using AI, ChatGPT, to get the citations, the lawyer, right? And Chandrachud saying that hallucination, many of these citations are all made up. ChatGPT is making mistakes. And he's saying, beware of hallucination. So, when you're preparing financial report in the Viksit Bharat, when you're using AI, which we are going to use to a great extent, be careful about hallucinations. Be careful about hallucinations, right? Hum log hallucination, we use it for some other purpose. Right? The other day, I was sitting with somebody. He was trying to sell me his AI tool. And you know what he was saying, sir? Hallucination 5%. I said, hallucination 5% means? You see, I do not hallucinate. Well, no. My AI tool has a 5%. That means there is a 5% chance it will hallucinate, but 95% my AI tool is fine. Right? 5% hallucination. And mujhe bolta hai, in the past, in 2022, the hallucination was 20%. That means there was an error of 20%. And he's saying, I am trying to go for a situation where the hallucination becomes 1%. And he's telling me, Manoj is smiling, but see, that's how it is. You have to, the profession has to be conversant with these terms. If you're not conversant, you're gone. He'll say, hallucination 5%. If you ask him, what hallucination here? What do you think about hallucination? When you hallucinate, right? You go to a doctor when you hallucinate, right? He's talking about hallucination 5%. He will come and tell Sabaji, my this thing is, Sabaji is due income tax, but sir, diya hai, but 5% hallucination. That means there is a 5% chance that he has quoted wrong cases, right? So that's how it is. That's how it is. So when you are going for financial reporting in the Viksit Bharat, you see, mind you, these are the challenges that you will have. These are the challenges that you will have. I am trying to complete as quickly as possible. Take a few questions from your side. Ethical principles, boss, I cannot. I was talking to, how many of you know him? He is a bit bedridden now, Bansi Mehta. Sir, you must be knowing him. Yes, sir. Bansi Mehta, after Nani Palkhiwala, Bansi Mehta's lectures and budget, everybody is to go and hear in this thing. But now, sir, he is bedridden. All right. His daughter is a chartered accountant. We said sometimes, whenever he is fine, he talks to me. And I listen to him with great deal of interest. He said, Debashish, what are you doing? I said, sir, I'm going to Bhubaneswar, sir. There's a national conference there. Oh, very good, very good. What are you speaking on? So I told him the topic. He said, are you going to speak on ethics, Debashish? I said, certainly, sir. Ethical principles, sir. I love to speak, sir. On financial reporting, I love to speak. But Debashish, quote me, huh? Quote me. I said, sir, tell me. I will quote you, sir. He says, ethics are absolute and never relative. Ethics are absolute and never relative. If somebody can tell you what he meant. When he told me to quote him, I thought about it. Then I said that, sir, is this the meaning? He said that, yes. You have got it more or less, past president, he tells me, past president, you have got it more or less. Right. What he's saying is, ethical principles does not change depending on the person. That is, the ethical principle will not change for Nandaji, because he's the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. The ethical principles will be the same for Nandaji and any other chartered accountant here. They are absolute and never relative based on the person to whom it is being applied. So bolta hai ki ye bolo, ethical principles are solid and they are the absolute. Bole ye bolega? I said, yes, sir. Certainly, sir. So I have done my duty, I have quoted him. Right? So when you do your financial reporting in Viksit Bharat, ethics are the absolute and never relative. And here, sir, since there are a lot of seniors, and I'd like to quote the past president, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper, सब react कर रहे हैं लोग का नाम सुन के. बोलते if something is illegal, something is legal but not ethical, a chartered accountant should never do it. If something is legal but not ethical, a chartered accountant should never do it. Mr. R.C. Cooper, president of the institute, who challenged Indira Gandhi when she nationalized the bank. He had the guts to challenge Indira Gandhi. Right? So, these are the kind of people who have donned the mantle of the presidentship of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I talk about them. Right? At some point of time, I'll speak about the third one, that is Y.H. Malligam, whom I hope to meet on 16th. So I'll speak about him at some point of time. Right? Trust is very important. Five moments. Huh? I know all of you are feeling hungry, right? But I will give you a trust. How many of you have seen a trust definition? First time I used it in the World Congress. Many of you did not attend it, so you are not aware. There were about 22,000 delegates from all over the world. 2,000 delegates, but foreign delegates. There were 10,000 people, but 2,000 foreign delegates. They said, from where did you get this trust definition? Now, I will show you the trust definition and see, we talk about this, see this trust definition. Kilo, have a look and enjoy the trust definition. Whether you agree with this. Rajiv, I think you have never seen the definition which you say defines a trust. But what is a trust? It is not the trust of the income tax, not section 12 of the income tax. Or section 11 of the income tax. This is not that trust. It's something else. Right? Have a look, enjoy the definition. They are saying, if your self-interest, the last one, S, is the least, the trust is high. That's what they are saying. Have greater credibility, have greater reliability in your financial statement. If your self-interest is the least, the trust is high. I hope all of you will agree. These two people, like those of us who follow cricket, and Duckworth and Lewis, so these two people have defined the trust. What's the trust? And let me tell you, it has stood the test of time. Right? I'm coming to the end. The last slide. What is going to happen? Crystal gazing. Artificial intelligence, significant use in the financial statements. Greater transparency in presentation. Better transparency. Narayan Murthy. Again quoting Narayan Murthy. Better. Again quoting Narayan Murthy says of Infosys, whenever in doubt, disclose. I repeat what he says. Whenever in doubt, disclose in a presentation of financial statements. बोलता है कि आपको doubt है whether to disclose it or not, disclose in notes on accounts. Now, Narayan Murthy, whenever in doubt, disclose. Next one, challenge to true and fair, boss. In the next 3 years, nobody is going to bother about your true and fair. बोलता क्या करेगा true and fair लेके? They're saying it's either going to be true and correct, absolute assurance. Nobody is going to bother about your reasonable assurance. Unfortunately, that's the challenge the professional will face. Right? Next one, emphasis on fraud detection. Fraud detection is going to be so important. So important. How many frauds you could detect? That's going to be this thing. Right? XBRL. If somebody can tell me what's the full form of XBRL, I'll be very happy. Who said? Very good. One round of applause for him. Extensive reporting language. X is extensible, right? Today, XBRL is used for listed companies. If Mr. Pandey would have been here, he would have said that very good. SEBI is pushing hard that XBRL should be used for the non-listed companies because XBRL facilitates comparison between data of various companies, right? You can facilitate analysis. So that is XBRL for you. So in the future, XBRL is going to be used to a great, great extent. Greater impact of technology, obviously. And last one, those of us, this time who have fought now, that non-corporate entities should not have a financial statement, new financial statement, why Institute has introduced something new, why it should not be deferred, it should be deferred, and Institute under pressure deferred that whole thing, right in the month of September, sir, if you recall, right? So deferred, nahi chalega. Nahi chalega. You see, those kind of deferral ka days chala gaya. As in the future, you see, those are things, right? Two things, I will end. One a quote from Malegaon, and second a quote from a past president whom I will not name, right? Quote from Malegaon. Why is Malegaon? He already said this. I'm sure Rajiv knows him very well, right? He says that, I don't know whether the president said this, all this. He said, the success of your profession, and this for all the youngsters who are also here. He says that because he heard me speak once, that we are the largest accounting body in the world. And he said, the success of the profession will not be determined by your size and power. The success of the profession will be determined by the dignity and respect you command. Y.S. Malegaon. That is what Y.S. Malegaon said. Right? That's what Y.S. And another gentleman, a past president whom I may not name, but who is being quoted quite frequently nowadays, he said, audit is a serious business. So you see, those of us who are in audit, you see, you should note that audit is a serious business. With these words, I thank all of you for your for your patience, and I have had a great time speaking to all of you. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for really giving a lot of information in such a short time and in a typical of your style and humor. And I think because it is already getting late for lunch, we will not further discuss anything more. But he covered most of the areas. Besides the formats or compliance requirements, he also included in his topics about AI and ethics. And both are very important and very relevant because ethics has always remained as our main pillar for the chartered accountants, and AI is the recent entrant. This both has to be considered together, and as our two dignitaries spoke at, and the topic says, that as chartered accountants, we must always try to create or rather issue or report a very trustworthy accounts for our Viksit Bharat 2047. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable contribution. Your expertise and precise guidance have made this session truly enriching.
I would now request CA Dilip Jena sir to come to the stage and offer memento to Sri CA Dr. Devashish Mitra sir.
May I request CA Pradeep Kumar Sahu, past chairman, to present memento to Prashant Panda, sir. I'd like to request CA Dr. Prithvi Ranjan Padi to offer a formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ritika. Respected delegates, senior members, past chairman, I extend my heartfelt thanks on behalf of Bhubaneswar branch of ICAI to past chairman CA Debashish Mitra sir. Thank you. Within very short period, you extensively covered everything, almost financial reporting, the seriousness of audit, XBRL, BRSR, ESG, whatnot, almost everything. We got such a powerful package with such a limited time. We are extremely thankful to you and for your time, for all these things. Thanks a lot, sir. I also extend my deep gratitude to CA Prashant Panda, past chairman of our branch. Sir, extensively, within also very limited time, you spoke about financial reporting and how it helps in arranging funding. What is the relevance of the financial reporting in the context of funding arrangement? That is also very useful to us. Thank you very, very much, sir. I extend my thanks to all of you participants. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Our next session is going to start very soon as our guest has already arrived. So we have a break of only 15 minutes. So please be back after 15 minutes and join us after the lunch. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let us begin by inviting our panelists onto the stage and diving straight into the discussion. I would request Mrs. Anu Garg, Shri Hemant Sharma, Shri Durga Shankar Mishra, and CA Rajiv Shekhar Sahu to please come up on the stage and grace the occasion.
Now we would request Branch Chairman Mahendra Sahu sir to please come on stage and present saplings to our guest. So our first panelist is Mrs. Anu Garg. Mrs. Anu Garg, IAS, the Development Commissioner of Odisha, and also Additional Chief Secretary of the Departments of Water Resources and Planning and Convergence Department in Government of Odisha. In her capacity as Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Water Resources, she has led initiatives to complete long-pending projects, take up new ones, work on water use efficiency and water conservation, besides giving thrust to infusing IT along with community involvement in water management. Prior to her present assignment, she had served as Principal Secretary in the Departments of Labour and ESI and Women and Child Development, Government of Odisha, and also different capacities in various ministries under Government of India, namely Joint Secretary, Ministry of Textiles, Joint Secretary to Prime Minister, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. She has also served as Commissioner cum Secretary, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Odisha during 2008-12. During 1992 to 2003, Mrs. Garg has served in various districts of Odisha in various capacities like Collector and District Magistrate, Additional District Magistrate, Sub-Divisional Magistrate. She was one of the members of high-level expert group for universal health coverage instituted by Planning Commission, Government of India. She is a 1991 batch IAS officer, Odisha cadre. She is an alumnus of Lady Shri Ram College, New Delhi, and did her masters from the University of Lucknow. She did her masters of public health from the Bloomberg School of Public Health, Johns Hopkins University, USA in 2007. She has also published several papers on different aspects of public health in various reputed journals.
Our second panelist, Shri Hemant Sharma, IAS, Odisha Cadre 1995, is a senior civil servant with extensive experience across industries, MSME development, energy, power, technical education, finance, and district administration. Born on 25th September 1969 and a direct recruit to the IAS, he holds a BE in electrical engineering. He is currently serving as the Additional Chief Secretary, Industries Department, Government of Odisha, and also holds key additional charges as ACS, MSME, Chairman IDCO, and Chairman IPCOL. Over his career, he has served as Principal Secretary in multiple departments, Chairman and Managing Director of GRIDCO and OPTCL, Joint Secretary at SECI, and District Collector of Kendrapada and Kalahandi. He has completed Phase 4 and Phase 5 mid-career training and various in-service programs at IIM Bangalore and the Uttarakhand Academy of Administration. Shri Sharma is widely recognized for his leadership in industrial development, infrastructure growth, and policy reforms in Odisha.
Would request Branch Chairman Mahendra Sahu sir again to please come on the stage and present saplings to Shri Hemant Sharma sir and Durga Shankar Mishra sir. Our third panelist is Shri Durga Shankar Mishra. He is a 1984 batch IAS officer of the Uttar Pradesh cadre who superannuated as the Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh after an illustrious 4-decade career in public service. He has held several senior leadership roles in both central and state governments across sectors such as urban development, housing, internal security, civil aviation, health, mining, tourism, sports, and agriculture. As Secretary, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, he was instrumental in conceptualizing and implementing major national urban missions, including Swachh Bharat Mission Urban, PMAY Urban, Amrut, Smart Cities Mission, Day NULM, PM SVA Nidhi, and key urban transport initiatives like Metro Rail and RRTS, in addition to overseeing flagship projects such as the new Parliament Building and the Central Vista. An alumnus of IIT Kanpur, he also holds an MBA in International Business, University of Western Sydney, and a postgraduate diploma in Public Policy, ISS The Hague. A strong proponent of good governance, he has published extensively in national and international journals, represented India at global platforms, and has served as visiting faculty at the University of Guelph, Canada. He is passionate about tracking, sports, and tourism. We welcome you all.
Now we would request our moderator, CA Rajiv Shekhar Sahu, who doesn't need any introduction, to please lead this exciting discussion.
Good afternoon to all of you. I'll request the organizers to please close all the gates and only allow people to come in. And request all of you, this is a very prestigious panel, and please don't move during the course of discussion. This is my request to all of you. We have three very important panelists and important bureaucrat of the country, Madam Anu Garg, Mr. Hemant Sharma and Mr. Durga Shankar Mishra. अगर मेरे को पूछा जाए कि रोहित शर्मा बेटर है या विराट कोहली बेटर है, आई हैव नो आंसर. अगर मेरे को पूछा जाए तो सचिन तेंदुलकर और इन दोनों में कौन बेटर है, उसके लिए भी मेरा पास जवाब नहीं है. तो आप you can decide between three of you who will be Sachin Tendulkar, who will be Virat Kohli and who will be Rohit Sharma. I happen to know all three of them very closely. I have occasion to work with all three of them, and I have also known that all three of them are brilliant in their own ways. Mr. Durga Shankar Mishra, whom I know for last 15 years, is the man behind the quick execution of Central Vista in Delhi, where the new parliament and many other institutions have been held. He is absolutely meticulous bureaucrat. He was narrating how from Metro to Central Vista, how deeply he is engaged with. And during his time, also the Ram Mandir, the inauguration took place last year. I think a big round of applause for Sri Durga Shankar Mishra. Madam Anu Garg, आप कितना भी टेंशन में कोई भी प्रॉब्लम लेके जाइए, she has a quick solution, and that solution will be very appealing, and your job is done. And I have seen her working as Secretary Health. I have seen her as the Development Commissioner and the ACS for Water Resources. The Taladanda Canal, the transformation that you see today, the beautified Taladanda Canal is entirely her contribution. During her tenure it got completed. All the barrages across the cities like Bhubaneswar, Sambalpur, all these are in the pipeline and hope we'll see them soon getting completed. We all hope your leadership, as has been mesmerizing in the system of governance, will continue in the respective elevated positions that may come in the future. Mr. Hemant Sharma, I can now say, most of the times when he is in flow, and if you have seen him in action, he is comparable to Rohit Sharma, because he can solve the industry problem like this, and whether as IDCO CMD or as industry ACS, the entire country, whoever wants to visit Odisha, they will ask, can I meet Mr. Hemant Sharma? And he never says no. If you don't get otherwise time, 6 o'clock is the time you can always meet him and you can get your work done. Sir, he is one of the very dynamic person who has revolutionized the industrial development, and the very attractive figure of investment that you see is from him. Please give a big round of applause for both of them. We are looking at 2047, we are looking at 2036. 2047, as you have been discussing, and the theme of this conference is India reaching 100 years of independence. And at the same time, in 2036, Odisha will reach 100 years in 2036 as the first state to be formed on linguistic basis. And during this time, Government of India and Government of Odisha has come out with many programs. First few minutes I'll talk about Odisha. Odisha is rightly poised. Its GSDP is at a higher rate than the national average. The debt to GDP ratio is a record, floating between 8 to 11% of the GSDP. I think this is unthinkable. Madam, I think you will agree with me, where you have placed the financial position is unthinkable, because there are states with 42%. Punjab is one at 42%. Rajasthan and others are at 33, 34, 35%. And Odisha is at around 11%. And that is the stage where there is a huge potential for growth. And only thing is, the capacity to spend is or may be a challenge. As far as industry is concerned, the flow of industry has been at the fastest possible rate during the last 5 to 8 years. And it is Mr. Hemant Sharma who is piloting and leading from the front. And the successive government is fully committed to industrial development. And this industrial development is, which is very important, is non-mining, non-metal, not metallurgy. It is more for green energy, it is for textile, it is for apparel, it is for food processing, it is for all other areas where there is high demand for employment, high value addition, and where this is spread all over the state. So, India is marching ahead to become a developed nation, and Odisha will have its lion's share of contribution in the development process. I will not stay long between the brilliant speakers and me. I will only I'll request all of you, please stay and don't move during the course of discussion. Thank you very much. So, may I now request Sri Durga Shankar Misra to kindly speak on his vision, how he looks at India 2047 and how he is going to integrate whatever he knows about Odisha also. Thank you, sir.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Rajiv ji, Anu ji, Hemant ji, and dear participants who have joined this conference, a very, very important conference on the subject of Viksit Bharat at 2047. And this particular session from 2 to 3, now it is 3 to 4, has been focused on the opportunities and contributions of CAs in Amrit Kal. This is such an important subject. So let me first congratulate ICI to organize this conference on this important subject of Viksit Bharat at 2047, which we have been deliberating for the last more than one day. I mean, it started from yesterday afternoon. First, let's understand what is Viksit Bharat. I'm sure you must have been, somebody must have spoken to you many times. लेकिन फिर भी मैं repeat होने के बावजूद इससे कुछ, just because I will deriving certain things from the Viksit Bharat. कहाँ से concept आया? This concept for the first time was spoken on 15th August 2022 in the Prime Minister's address to the nation from the ramparts of Red Fort. When he spoke about Panch Pran, the 5 vows, the first vow being the Viksit Bharat at 2047. Because when the country completes its 100 years after getting independence, our country will be Viksit, we will be developed nation. So far we have been developing nation and been seeing for last 75 years as developing nation. What Viksit means, I'll come later. 2, to shed the colonial mindset. In fact, you must have heard Honorable Prime Minister recently, he spoke about Macaulay's capturing Indian mind, our mindset, right from 1835 when he has vows that by 2035, that is 10 years from now, this colonial mindset will be completely wiped out. We do not respect ourselves. We always want endorsement from somebody else. The symbols, the signages, various things, it's all colonial. So slowly and slowly that is getting wiped out, and the time set has been set at the next 10 years. The third is pride on our own heritage. And who other than Orissa will understand? Orissa is full of heritage, whether it is culture, architecture, art, dance, history. There is so much of heritage. I mean, Orissa seems to be the cultural capital of the nation. We need to take pride in our own heritage. The fourth is the unity and the inclusivity. That is all, we will all make it happen. This Viksit Bharat 2047 is not responsibility of one, but responsibility of everybody. We will all make it happen, Viksit Bharat by 2047. And the fifth, that is citizens' responsibility. When you say citizens, means citizens also include the organizations like ICI. It's a responsibility of the communities, the chartered accountant community, responsibility of individuals like me, like Anu, responsibility of the government of Orissa, government of India, various other governments. So various organizations we all make together, we will all make it happen, Viksit Bharat by 2047. Now what is Viksit Bharat? When you say Viksit Bharat, the very first element is it will be Atmanirbhar Bharat. Still, after so much effort in the last many years, and especially much focused attempt in the last 10 to 11 years, the country is still not Atmanirbhar. We are moving towards Atmanirbharta, we are moving towards the self-dependence. So that is the first thing. We will be Atmanirbhar in almost all the fields. The infrastructure. Infrastructure must grow, and it should be of the world-class standards. We already see the kind of work which has been done on the roadways, highways, expressways, railways, metros, regional rapid transports, airports, shipping, water transport. I mean, various sectors, the whole infrastructure, the way it has transformed in the last over a decade, that shows what is going to come in the next another 2 decades from now, that is by 2047. The third is science and technology. We must be the leaders in the world in terms of science and technology, and now we have the missions. Almost all frontier technology, the new technology which is coming from any part of the world, whether it is artificial intelligence, machine learning, drone technology, robotics, biotechnology. I mean, say anything. Everything the government is having special missions, the hydrogen, the clean energy. All these missions are there, semiconductors. So this is India will be in the frontiers of the technology. The fourth, economy. I mean, economy predicted is it will go say around 30 to 35 trillion dollar. What is the size of the economy now? It is more than $4 trillion economy. We are the fourth largest economy in the world and fifth largest, and very soon we will be the fourth largest. And then we will be the third largest economy in the world. We may also catch up to become the second largest economy. So this is a 30 to 35 trillion dollar economy by 2047. The per capita income in states is projected to be something like $15,000 to $18,000 per person. Think of the kind of prosperity, the kind of the quality of life people will have in the next 20 to 22 years. The next is the social indices. That is all socioeconomic indices, health, education, various other things which bring our life, the quality, we improve the quality of life. That's going to be of a very high standards. And the final, that will be the leading power in the world in terms of knowledge power, in terms of, various things, our contributions in the world. So this is what Viksit Bharat 2047 stands for. And if you see the kind of dynamism, the kind of proactiveness, various sectors across, you think of any sector and that sector is the way it is changing. The way it has come to a certain level. The groundwork has been done. It's time to take off. This is Viksit Bharat at 2047. And there, what is the focus of this session is the opportunities and contributions of the chartered accountants. As a chartered accountant, you are the very, very important community who is going to make it happen. Because chartered accountants are involved in the government functioning, in the corporate functionings, in the urban local bodies, rural local bodies, that Panchayati Raj institutions. Think of an organization and the chartered accountant's role is very much important, very much there. They are the one who are setting the financial standards, whether the finances will be clean, credible, trustworthy. It is chartered accountants who make it happen. So what is your role? How you are going to contribute to that is most important. Whether the world will trust India, whether the world, people who are coming to invest in India, you are the one who are going to prepare the roadmap, the financial investment or any kind of thing, that's your responsibility. So you are the most important community among many. There are many other communities which are going to make it happen. Viksit Bharat 2047. So what are the opportunities? Just to count a few. Opportunities for you towards this journey of Viksit Bharat 2047. The economy is transforming, galloping. We were 11th only a few years back, just over a decade back. Today we are the 5th. We have already crossed the threshold of $4 trillion economies. Very soon we are going to be 4th. Sooner again, by may another few years, 4 or 5 years, we are going to be the 3rd economy in the world. And when the economy grows, whose work is going to increase? Your work is going to increase. Because the economy is going to, the engine of economy is going to move much faster. 2, today we are the fastest growing digital economy in the world. The way digital economy, today almost more than 20% of the economy is in the digital format. We are the highest UPI, the digital payment transactions, the fintech companies, the various kinds of transformation in the financial world, the way it has been transforming. Whose role is that? You are going to play a very, very important role in this journey. Today, India is one of the largest tax network in the world. And who is directly playing role? Whether it is the direct taxes or it is the indirect taxes. The direct taxes already crossed 10 lakhs crores. Indirect taxes crossed more than 22 lakhs crore. So your role in GST, your role in income tax, your role in corporate tax, you are going to play this is the kind of opportunities you are getting, and this is going much, much faster. You are aware about the kind of growth which is happening. India is formalizing economy in the very, very fast manner. The number of people who have brought under the tax net, that has grown very fast, whether it is the GST tax, more than 1.5 crores. They have not thought that so many people are going to be taxed, direct taxes. So this is a very fast formalizing economy. The number of MSMEs who are getting formalized through the various public policies, the government policies. This provides you a very, very important ground. India has become the hub of innovation, the startups capital of the world. Today we have got nearly 2 lakhs startups, more than nearly 120 plus unicorns. And startups getting corporatized, the new innovations which is they are taking the company shape. This is again provides a big space for the chartered accountants community, for the cost accountant community. India is fast corporatizing. The way our corporate sector is spending, I mean, we just had Tuhin and Injeti in the forenoon session. The total monetization of NSE is more than $5 trillion. And who is there? Whose role is there? It is your role who is going to be the most important. So it lays the whole lot of opportunities. I had been Secretary Urban Government of India. The number of cities growing is now close to 5,000. And the cities' sizes are growing. The cities' finances are growing. The cities which are now slowly cities are becoming, I mean, they are raising funds to the municipal bond. Cities are getting themselves accredited. They can raise their bonds. So is the case for even this Panchayati Raj institutions. They are again changing. The finance is becoming very, very important. So this provides you a great ground where the chartered accountant has to play a very, very important role by 2047 in making the country Viksit Bharat. During its Shatabdi Varsh, the centenary celebration when you do that. That's the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister. Now your contribution, once you have this opportunities, wherever you are, whatever work you are doing, at whichever level you are working, we are working for a local body, you are working for the government, you can improve the governance system. In fact, as a urban secretary, when I was promoting cities to improve the municipal bond, my focus was on improving the urban governance, the financial governance of cities. Once that get improved, they will be rated higher, A+, A++, and they will be able to raise municipal bonds at a much lower rate. Your role in improving the credibility of the government. You are auditing, I mean the government sector, the public sector, you are auditing the state public sector. You are auditing whether their accounts are fine. Is there any fraud there? You are also developing the system through which the frauds can be unearthed. So your role is very much, I mean, your contribution is right there in preparing an accurate, much credible, a transparent, and with a much higher level of integrity. I was just saying just before this session, I was hearing your one of the past president, the way he was speaking on integrity. Your role is making sure that the digital economy, the practices, digital practices, all the reforms government is doing, that gets on the ground. Because you are directly helping the corporate sector, you are directly helping the companies, you are directly helping those who are formalizing from the informal to the formal economy. How can digital instruments which have now been prepared and which now coming in a much bigger way. So your role is there, you can contribute in a big way. You can help organizations in raising funds, various kinds of innovative financing. As a Secretary Government of India, as a Chief Secretary Uttar Pradesh, we were looking for such ways and means which is affordable, where we can get the finance well in time. So how you can do that? Your role is, I mean, as a members of the Institution of Chartered Accountant of India, your role is very much there. Your role is making sure that we are not only limited to India. The India is going global now. We were making for India, we are now making for the world. Our products are being sold as an urban secretary. When I used to go and flag off metros which were being manufactured earlier, all the metros were coming we were importing metros. We started exporting metros. We started exporting many things. So will our financial standards be matched with the world standards? Their role, your role is very, very important. Your role is, today India has taken the responsibility to develop as a green economy. Our Prime Minister's commitment to the Panchamrit in COP26 at Glasgow, by 2070 we become a net zero emission country. And how can that be adopted? Today there is so much of focus on ESG, compliance. How can that be within the environment? So, I mean, all these things, how can that go there? The role of the chartered accountant is very much there. I think it's the whole platter. You have the huge opportunities and a very, very important role to play. And let me tell you, I met with one of your past president, Mr. Samath, a chartered accountant who has, now he is celebrating his 75 years. What he told me? He told me that I wish that I live till 2047 to see how India will be by 2047. I pray Lord Jagannath that he should be there, and rather I pray Lord Jagannath that all of us should be there to witness, like the Prime Minister said on 15th August 2022, that Aaj Amrit Kal ki Pratham Bela hai. That is, I am quoting from his speech from the Red Fort. Aaj Amrit Kal ki Pratham Bela hai. वैसे ही 15 अगस्त 2047 को जब हमारे प्रधानमंत्री लाल किले के प्राचीर से जब देश को संबोधित करें कि आज विकसित भारत की ये प्रथम बेला है, हम सब साक्षी हों उसको सुनने के लिए, उसको देखने के लिए, उसको महसूस करने के लिए. So my request to all of you would be, you are going to make this country achieve the vision, the dream of Honorable Prime Minister to become Viksit Bharat by 2047. And you are going to be the direct beneficiary. You and your families and your descendants are going to be the direct beneficiary of this Viksit Bharat 2047. Let us all make it happen. Please, let's realize our responsibility. Let's realize our duties. And let's see, let's imagine, because God has given us this power, that we can take ourselves 25 years in the past and we can also take us 25 years in the future. Let us take it, start releasing what it will be on 15th August 2047, and let's start making it happen. Sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka prayas. We can make it happen. Thank you. And thank you, Rajiv ji, for giving me this opportunity to be with you, such a brilliant community of the chartered accountants and NetDSU. I'll be very happy to take any questions from your side. Thank you all.
Sir, the way you have explained the Viksit Bharat 2047, I don't think anybody will have any doubt or any question in their mind. Still, they are open to ask question after the end of all three speakers complete. Sir, thank you very much for a lovely presentation of the various granular details of India development and how it will reach 2047. May I now request Sri Hemant Sharma to please speak on how industrialized Odisha will be and how it is. Thank you.
Shri Rajiv Sahu, who is moderating this session, our senior colleagues, Shri Durga Shankar Mishra ji, who gave a very brilliant elocution about the concept of Viksit Odisha by 2047. What role would chartered accountants and the community of chartered accountants play in making the vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047 happen? My senior colleague, Ma'am Anu Garg, the Development Commissioner of the state, and dear friends, this is the second time when I am addressing the National Conference of Chartered Accountants here at Bhubaneswar. The last time I came here was in December 2023. So it's almost 2 years, exactly 2 years when we met earlier. Some of you who would have been present in December 2023 would recall some of the points which I tried to make before you. The topic at that point of time was what role would a state like Orissa envision for itself in the emerging new India. That is what we spoke about. And I have mentioned some claims before you. And I thought that today, in 2 years, let me present the balance sheet of the last 2 years, what has happened in Orissa between December 2023 and December 2025, which will give you an idea of what role could a state like Orissa play in India developed Bharat by 2047. This is what I thought I will do. A very brief introduction about what Odisha's industrial development is doing for Samruddh Odisha by 2036, which will contribute to Viksit Bharat by 2047. This is the theme of my presentation. I will take about 10 to 15 minutes, and maybe towards the end, once the session is over, you would be free to ask any of the questions if you prefer to. My senior colleague, Ma'am Anu Garg, she will be giving you a wider picture, a much broader and wider picture about the economic might of Orissa. And that economic might of Orissa, the economy of Orissa has many, many connotations, a part of which is related to industrial development in both manufacturing sector and services sector. So I would be, let's say, speaking about 1/3 to 1/4 of what the entire economy of Odisha is about. Please pay attention to what comes on the screen, because I would be taking some time and some cues from what is presented here on the screen. This is our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. It is his view about Orissa which he expressed about 18 months ago. This is part of one of his speeches he made about Indian states, and it is his view about Odisha. What does he say? He says that Odisha will be the growth engine of the development journey of the country in the next 25 years. Mark his words. It is the Prime Minister of India speaking about the state of Odisha. And what does he say? He says two important points. One, he is talking of the next 25 years. He is not talking of the past 25 years. He is talking of the next 25 years. Very important point to note. Secondly, he is saying that Odisha will be the growth engine of what? Growth engine of the development journey of the country of India. That means if India has to grow, states like Orissa will be engines. They will not be bogies. They will not be drags. They will not be this, what is called the brake van. They will be the engines. And why did he say so? He said so because India is a union of states. If India has to grow, it means, it ipso facto means, by definition, it means that states must grow. Without states growing, India cannot grow. And India actually needs engines like Odisha to grow. Now, what is this engine? What is this engine, growth engine, which he is talking of? This growth engine is represented by our state government, led by our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Mohan Charan Majhi, who is leading this growth engine. Where does this growth come from? This growth, this movement, it comes from these 2 points, which is a synchronous working of the state government with Government of India and a whole of government approach, which means that it is not the industries department or agriculture department or women and child development department or finance department or urban development, rural development. We do not work in our different compartments or in our different silos. We work together as a team in order to translate the vision of our Honorable Chief Minister for Viksit Odisha, Samruddh Odisha by 2036. Now, what is this engine? What is this growth engine? You must have heard about, this phrase called double engine, right? Double engine, you must have heard that there is a double engine and therefore the train will run faster. Let us try to understand this concept. It is very important for people like you to know this. For any state, whether it is Odisha or Andhra or Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, any state in India, its strategic advantage. Every state had some advantages, some disadvantages. So its strategic advantage primarily comes from two things, right? There are two wheels which run. One is geography, and the second one is its polity. This geography and polity, geographical system and political system, geographical heritage, what geography has endowed us with because it cannot change, and the state political system, these two, they run to move the state's economy. This you can understand in a very, very simple manner. So it is, if the political system is not running well, even if the geographical system has given an advantage, the economy will not move faster, and the vice versa. Therefore, the political system and the geographical system, they move together in synchronous manner to run the state's economy. This is called single engine, the state polity driving the state's economy. If you have the union polity support, if that support comes and joins, then two things happen. A, the speed will become faster and the size also will become faster. This is the double engine. You understand this term, double engine? Double engine, this is that double engine. It is the union government support and the state government work coming together. If they come together and if they work synchronously, then the state's geography and the political system can give you double speed, double growth. This is called double engine. This is what the state of Orissa is in today. We are running at double speed because we are driven by a double engine towards Samruddh Odisha by 2036. This is, I think, something which all of you would understand. Now, in this growth of our economy, what is the contribution of industry? Right? This is the second point which let's try to understand. What has been the journey, the growth of our industry? Is there some plan behind it? Is there something which the government is doing in a planned manner, or is it happening on its own? Nothing happens on its own in the world of economy, in the world of business, in the world of trade, in the world of commerce. Without plan, without a project, without a roadmap, it is like a rudderless ship. It won't go anywhere, it won't take you anywhere. So in a nutshell, we'll try and understand our industrial journey. We are a mineral-rich geographical state. We are a mineral-rich coastal state. That means the backbone of our industrial development is our mineral resources. There are states in India which are mineral-rich but not coastal. For instance, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, they have equally high volumes of minerals, but they are not coastal. There are states in India which are coastal like Andhra Pradesh, but they are not rich in minerals. Orissa is twice blessed that it is not only a mineral-rich state, it is also a coastal state. That gives us the backbone of our industry, which is mining and mineral processing. We are number one. We today are number one in this. That is the foundation, the bedrock of our industry. Number one in iron ore, number one in steel, number one in ferroalloys, number one in stainless steel, number one in bauxite, number one in alumina, number one in alumina, number one in aluminium. And not only that, these capacities are increasing, more and more capacities are getting added up, which is the foundation, the bedrock of our industry. The second part of our industry comes from metallurgical and allied sectors. So we have, through the policy of encouraging value addition, we have encouraged mineral value addition industries in the country, and I'll explain a little later to you how that is unfolding in the last 2 years. Because we are a coastal state, we have ports available, port-based industrial clusters can be set up. Therefore, we are exploiting that advantage in order to get chemical, petrochemical, petroleum industry, which in India is dependent only on imports. Because crude oil, petroleum, naphtha, natural gas, LNG can only be imported. There are hardly any sources in India. Coastal states have an advantage only if they plan for it. If they want to do, they can do. So we have done that, and today we are one of the most successful new chemical and petrochemical destination in the country. There are sectors of economy which are demand driven, which are based on local demand, regional demand. For instance, the food processing industry. Again, we have made a very good beginning, and I'll present to you what has happened in the last 2 years. It is driven by the local demand. Odisha is a growing state. Demand for processed packaged food is growing, will continue to grow, and we have enabled the growth of this industry in this state. Same thing for what is called skill-driven industries, skilled worker-driven industries, textiles, technical textiles and apparel, where again, within the last 2 years, we have made a grand opening, a great beginning, and now we are rated as one of the best new destinations for this particular industry in India. So starting from our geographical advantage to our demand advantage, regional advantage, and now following it up with what is called the new age sectors. So if you see raw material driven growth, demand driven growth, now we are entering into a field, into an era of technology driven growth, which is what Durga Shankar Mishra sir was speaking of, that the country itself is now entering into a technology driven growth. Semiconductors, electronics, information technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all these are what are called technology sectors, tech sectors, and we have also now made a good beginning in these sectors. As I mentioned to you, mineral and mineral processing is our advantage, and we have exploited this advantage in order to be the number one in the country in mineral processing. But more importantly, for us, it is not what has already happened. What is happening now is important. So the capacities which are getting added up, about 100 million tons of steel, about 1 million ton of stainless steel, about 14 million tons of alumina, and about 2 million tons of aluminium. Now, this is the opportunity. If you look at the map of previous map, which is our mineral map, with this map, which is our industry map, all this has been planned. We have planned our industry in such a manner that we spread them across our mineral bearing regions rather than concentrating them in only 1 or 2 locations. But what does that mean? This also means that in both in mining industry across the value chain and in metallurgy across the value chain, starting from mining up to chemicals, there are new and new opportunities, new and new investments which continue to happen. Look at this bottom list of companies. None of these companies was present in December 2023 when I presented before you our industrial policy. All these companies have come in the last 2 years. These companies have come, made increasing investments in the last 2 years. Welspun, which came to set up a ductile iron pipe plant, Ratnamani, which came all the way from Gujarat to Sambalpur to set up a DI and a ERW pipe plant, Rimjim Ispat, which came from Kanpur to set up a stainless steel plant, Danieli, which came from Italy to set up a refractories plant, Magna, which came from Spain to set up a refractories plant, Bajrang, which came from Chhattisgarh, Raipur to set up a titanium dioxide plant, TYK, which came from Japan, and so on and so forth. These are all investments which have happened in the last 2 years. Again, chemicals and petrochemicals, while the top companies we had, the bottom, if you look at the bottom, you will find that these are all new companies who now have looked at Orissa, the Paradeep PCPIR, the Gopalpur port, the Dhamra port as locations where new investments can come. All these companies have come, whether it is Sanvira or Camco or Astral or Epsilon, Berger Paints, Syntex, all these companies have come in the last 2 years, taking advantage of what we have set up as a attractive policy framework. In chemicals, it is very important to note that there is a shift. There is a shift which is happening from West India to East India. All these companies have massive presence in Kutch, in Dahej, in Kandla, in Mundra. But any of those companies, if they want to expand and they want to set up a new plant, they don't think of Western India or South India. The first place which comes to their mind is Orissa, because of the policies which we have, because of the infrastructure which we have put into place. And all this has happened in the last 2 years. Same thing in textile, technical textile and apparel sector. Companies like Jockey, Maas, which has come from Sri Lanka, Toray, which has come from Japan, Epic, which has come from Mauritius, FM Group, which has come from Mauritius, Indorama, which has come from Thailand, and MCPI, which has come from Japan. In December 2023, when I was addressing each one of you, we had just brought out the textile policy, and in the last 24 months, this is the result. Today, whenever a company, a garment exporter or a fabric processor, whether he is in Ludhiana or Coimbatore, Tirupur or Noida, or anywhere amongst the existing textile clusters, if a company in India wants to expand in India, they think of Odisha. If a company from Vietnam, Bangladesh, Mauritius or Sri Lanka or Cambodia, which are the major apparel hubs in the world, if they want to think of a China plus one strategy, they first think of India, and within India, they first think of Odisha. That is the strength which we have built up on textile. Same thing in renewable energy and renewable energy equipment. 2 years ago, we were nowhere. Now we have India's, out of the top 30 renewable energy equipment manufacturers in India, whether it is solar module, solar glass, solar cell, solar wafer, ingot. And now, going forward in the next 2 to 3 months, also polysilicon, we have made a solid beginning, whether it is Vari or Inox or Jupiter or Jackson, Quant, Luminous, Sova Solar. If you go to the Government of India Ministry of New and Renewable Energy website, there is a list of top 30 Indian solar equipment manufacturers. 12 of them are in Orissa, and this is only increasing. We have in other sectors as well, whether it is tourism, biotechnology, electronics, IT, ITS, pharmaceutical and food processing. In each of these sectors, there is growing interest from the industries outside of Orissa to set up their plants in Orissa. Where do you think, sir, Mishra sir, where do you think is India's longest industrial shed? Could it be Jamnagar? Could it be Hospet? It could be Chennai. It is actually in Jharsuguda. India's largest and longest industrial shed is in Jharsuguda, in Orissa. Where in India, or where in India is India's largest noodle making factory? It is actually in Khurda, just about 15 minutes away from this place. Where in India is Nestle's largest factory coming up, what they call a global lighthouse? It is actually close to Khurda, a place called Mundamba, where we have set up a food processing park. Where in India is Berger Paint setting up its largest plant in India? It is actually close to Cuttack. So these are happenings which are driven by the solid policy framework, the industrial policy which we have put in place, and a concerted effort which is being made by the government in order to bring industrial investments to Orissa. This is what is leading us to Samradh Odisha 2036, Viksit Bharat 2047. These are the 4 new sectors which we have identified, and what Mishra sir was also explaining, India itself is entering, under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, we are entering the new age. What is that new age? That new age is age of energy transition and technology transition. So more renewable energy, therefore more renewable energy equipment. More green fuels, therefore more green hydrogen, more green ammonia. More and more Atmanirbharta, therefore more aerospace, more defense industries, and Orissa will certainly achieve a good part of all these investments coming up in India. There are 4 pillars on which we keep working: good industrial policy, industrial infrastructure, skilled workforce, and investment facilitation. These are the 4 enablers, the drivers through which we work. A good set of industrial policies, just to give you a, because you are chartered accountants, so you would certainly be interested in this. One of the best investment related incentives in India, 20 to 30% capital investment subsidy on plant and machinery without any upper limit. The only state in the country which is able to offer it. ₹2 per unit discount on landed cost of electricity, 100% reimbursement of ESI and EPF, and 100% reimbursement of net SGST paid up to 200% of your investment in plant and machinery. We would request the chartered accountants community to spread this word about Orissa. You have recourse to, you have an interface with where all accounting happens, where all corporate financing takes place. If you are aware of this, you can actually help us spread more and better awareness about this. Industry-ready infrastructure along the east coast. We have the National Highway 16, which is our economic corridor. All 4 ports are located alongside it. Then we have the Western Expressway, which connects us with the states of Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, and the interconnecting corridor. So the Eastern Expressway, the Western Expressway, and the Central Expressway, this is where we have located our industrial parks and industrial clusters. This is my last slide. I'll just give you an example of how these investments unfold, right? And this is an example which actually is meant for you. As the chartered accountants community, you will understand, you will realize its importance. Many times we are asked that why is it that government of Orissa is offering so many incentives? Why so much of incentives are offered? 30% capital investment subsidy, 100% SGST reimbursement. What does it actually give? So we built up what is called a return on investment, and I'm sure that being the chartered accountant community, you will understand the logic behind it. This is a live example. This is not a theoretical example. This is an actual example of a company, Shahi Export, which invested 100 crores in Orissa over the last 5 years. And our investment policy, which I presented to you, more or less it has given them an incentive of about 50 crores, about approximately 50% of what they invested, we have given to them, right? So a question should be asked that a company invests 100 crores, the government is giving back 50 crores, what is the reason behind it? The reason is presented here. That company has employed 5,000 local youth, 5,000. Taking the average salary at the lower level of 25,000, the company is actually paying an annual salary of 150 crores in Orissa itself. हमने 50 करोड़ रुपया खर्च किया और 1 साल में 150 करोड़ रुपया हमें वापस मिल गया. इससे अच्छा रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट कुछ हो सकता है क्या? ये हमारी पॉलिसी है. This is what our policy is. Imagine this multiplied by 20 times. Now there are 20 companies doing the same thing. We will be paying an incentive of about 1,000 crore in infrastructure and in actual incentives, and there will be an addition of 3,000 crores to the state's economy every year. This is the power of industrial investment. This is something which all of you as chartered accountants would understand. 3 times return on investment in 1 year. This is a plan. This is the plan of government of Orissa, which will take us to Samruddh Odisha by 2036 and Viksit Bharat by 2047. Thank you so much.
Friends, you know how important was this session and how important it is to hear Mr. Hemant Sarma. I am sure it must have energized all of you to see the kind of industrial prospect that the state is going to provide, and also the level of development that we can witness in 2036. I had no doubt in seeing a double century from you, because last year also you scored a double century in the same platform, in the same time, in the last conference. That is... So I hope the kind of vision, the kind of development that has been taking place in the industrial side, the benefit will come to the people of Odisha, and the employment generation will be at its peak. Now you will hear another electrifying communication from our Development Commissioner, Madam Anu Garg, and I have heard her speaking in various other forums. You will get the benefit of it. Thank you.
इसको बंद कर दें. Is it okay? So good evening, everyone. Mr. Rajiv Sahu, my senior colleague, Mr. D.S. Mishra, Hemant, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. When we were all young children, I think all of us at some point have written an essay on the India of my dreams, Mere Sapno Ka Bharat, in Odisha, most Odisha of my dreams, or more Swapna Ra Odisha. I'm sure at some point all of us have written that. So it gives me great happiness that as adults today, we are discussing this in this forum. And it gives me even greater happiness that in our state we were able to develop a Vikasit Odisha, Vikasit Bharat document, vision document, and happiest that Honorable Prime Minister came to Odisha and launched that vision document in June this year. So I'm so happy to be here with you to discuss both about Vikasit Bharat and Vikasit Odisha. India has been doing so well, touch wood, at $4.19 trillion. It is a growing economy, and in 2047, we are planning to hit $30 trillion. And even the per capita income, which 10 years back was $1,440, is now 2,880, so we've doubled. But in 2047, it is going to go up to $18,000. So that is the kind of aspirational targets that have been set for 2047. You will be happy to know that 25 crore people have come above the poverty line. And I think the biggest strengths of India in this few years has been the growth of its digital public infrastructure. I have some nephews and nieces, in fact my own daughter, in the US, and one thing they say that they really miss is this digital public infrastructure. They say in India it is far superior than it is in the US. Now, what are some of the changes that you are seeing, major changes that are happening in India? Number one, of course, is infrastructure. So be it airports under Udan scheme, Jewar Airport, be it roads, NH, be it railway, be it ports, anything, we are expanding in leaps and bounds. Apart from that, as my friend Hemant mentioned, industrialization. So industrialization is again lot of FDI coming in, lot of within India industrialization taking place. But the attitude behind that is what I feel is the biggest change. 20, 30 years back, when we used to talk about industrialization, we used to be all very diffident. But now we have been told that the red carpet has to turn into red tapeism has to convert to red carpet for the industry. That is the attitude change that I am seeing in these years, and I think that is what is leading to so much of industrialization. The third big thing that we are seeing now, and that is going to lead to this rapid change and this aspirational targets that we have to achieve, is good governance. Now, in good governance, I don't know if many of you will agree with me, we used to have that thing in government ki sab chalta hai, dheere dheere hoga, but no more. Each one of us is trying to use technology to improve our performance. Each one of us is also trying to change our mindset. That mindset that chalta hai, we now know that chalta hai does not chalta hai. We know that if growth is going like this was acceptable earlier, we now are looking for growth like this. We want accelerated growth. And that is how a Vikasit Bharat will be created. But any Vikasit Bharat, we need Vikasit Rajya. And this is something very, very critical, where each state will have to contribute its might behind the country. And when Honorable Prime Minister had come, he mentioned this, that he sees Orissa as the engine for Purvanchal and also for Vikasit Bharat. In our state, you all are familiar, at present we are at $115 billion, which is around 9.5 lakh crore. That is the size of our GSDP. We have targeted to take it to $500 billion by 2036 and $1.5 trillion by 2047. Now, it is very aspirational and sometimes very daunting, but any vision has to be challenging. It has to be aspirational. And that is why I think all of us are committed to this. In this, we also hope to see the per capita move. We also hope to create almost 1 crore jobs. And in Orissa, unlike many other states, for example, Punjab has its vision document, Andhra Pradesh has what is called the Swarna Andhra document, Gujarat has its document. So Gujarat is planning to take their economy to $3.2 trillion. Swarna Andhra wants to take it to $2.4 trillion by 2047. Given our growth, we are planning to take it to $1.5 trillion. And each state is now competing with each other to ensure that we are all contributing to this. At present, we are 2.89% of the national GDP. At $115 billion, we are almost 3%, you can say. If we are $500 billion by 2036, that is when Odisha turns 100, we will be 4% of the national GDP. And at $1.5 trillion, we will be 5% of the national GDP. So clearly, while the rest of the country is also going to be growing, we are seeing a much larger growth. We are trying to envision a much larger growth for the state. Now, this growth is going to be based on 3 main pillars. Very intuitively, the first pillar is prosperity, samruddhi. So we want to have 8 more ports, double the capacity of our existing ports, have more number of airports, double the road network, triple the rail network, everything that, intuitively you think for a growing economy. We are also seeing urbanization as a very important engine of growth. Now, Orissa has a disadvantage that we are at 17% of urbanization. And therefore, for us, we have to move to 40% by 2036 and 60% by 2047. And we have envisaged setting up economic zones involving Bhubaneswar, Puri, Cuttack, Paradeep, making it one economic zone, then Sambalpur, Jharsuguda, Bargarh, Rourkela, making it another economic zone, and hoping that we will be able to boost urbanization. Likewise, tourism. How tourism has a very high multiplier effect. How can we take up tourism? In Orissa, there is nothing which is not there. We have the best beaches, a 575-kilometer long shoreline. We have the 33% forest, now extending almost up to 37% forest, the wildlife, lakes, you name it, and the culture, the temples, Buddhist culture, Rath Yatra, you name it, everything is there. So we now want to translate that, how that will now convert into economy. Likewise, the other two pillars on which we have based our vision, the other pillar is well-being. Now and this came from the common public, we had taken inputs from everybody, that if our people are not healthy or do not have adequate nutrition, are not educated and falling sick from time to time, then this vision that we have conceptualized, we will not be able to achieve. So what we have envisioned is that the longevity will go up from 70 presently to 81, like any of the developed countries. 64% anemia in our state, like many other states. How do we bring it down? MMR 119, how do we bring it down to less than 5 by 2047? So many things we have set lofty targets, and we are confident that systematically we will be able to address these. We also, the third pillar is equity. All those of you who are familiar with Orissa, we have many areas which are hard to reach. We have a population, 23% of our population who are tribals and who live in very, very difficult, hard to reach areas. We want the benefits of this development that we are having and we are going to have to trickle to all these areas, and to ensure that we are focusing a lot on regional development. And as Hemant was showing, that even the industries that are coming, we are requesting many of them, Yatha Sambhav, to move to different areas, so that we have in Malkangiri, we have in Devgarh, we cover most of our areas with industry, with other development things. Likewise, in equity, even women. Now, no government can develop without taking 50% of its population along. And at present, in Orissa, we have 49% LFPR, the female workforce participation rate, which seems good, 49%, better than 37 or 40% of national. However, our female workforce participation rate is largely in the primary sector, agriculture, and we need to bring them to manufacturing and eventually to the services sector, and that is where our challenge lies. But what we have planned in our document is to take it from 49 presently to 70 in 2047. So ladies and gentlemen, we have very ambitious plans and the confidence that we will be able to do it. Already many things are being done, and we are very hopeful that we will be able to achieve. On the dais, I was speaking to my senior colleague. He's the ex-Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh. And he was saying, yes, Orissa has so many advantages. So, sir, what we have done is that these advantages we have, what is the edge that Orissa has? EDGE. E is for the economy. By God's grace, today we have very robust finances, and a Niti Aayog study has shown that Orissa is number 1 in fiscal prudence, head and shoulders above the number 2. And we are hoping that we will be able to maintain that and take this development agenda forward. The D in EDGE, E-D, the D stands for demography. So, at present, we have the working force to do this, the demographic dividend, so that we can actually take it forward. We have a large number of universities. We are working on the quality, but we have a large number of technical inputs that are coming from these universities. G stands for geography. We are blessed. 575 kilometers of shoreline, which lends itself so beautifully to a blue economy. We have, as Hemant was telling you, 25% of India's coal, 96% of its nickel, 40% of its iron ore. So, we are blessed with minerals and also a very strategic location. So, not just are we kind of the gateway to Southeast Asia, we have these 3 ports which we are hoping that very soon we will be able to develop more and more. And the last E in EDGE, Orissa's EDGE, is the ecosystem. And Hemant was mentioning, we have the best of class policies, and the policies relating to industry are the policies he showed you. But we also have policies for floating solar, for pumped storage, we have for IT, for AI, and you name it. For each of these policies offering the best of incentives and trying our best to treat everything and take it forward with a smile. So, with that, I would just like to tell you that Orissa is now poised for a takeoff. We are hoping that we will be able to move very steadily, and we look forward to the cooperation of all sectors, and including the chartered accountants, and we hope that you will bring that ethical control on all our offices, all the industries that are there, and ensure that whatever is being done properly and everything is accounted for properly. Now, some of the other things which I think are common to whether it's Viksit Bharat or whether it's Vikasit Odisha is, number 1, women-led development. We have to constantly ensure that women are brought into the workforce and into meaningful workforce, and for that, to help them, if we need to develop a care economy of creches and things like that, that needs to be done urgently. Number 2, we have to be mindful that climate change is a reality, and more so in Orissa. In Orissa, 1999 we had our first super cyclone, after which in 2013, then 2018, then 2020, 21, 22, and every year almost we are having cyclones, sometimes even 2 in a year. One year we even had 3, one in December. So, we have to be mindful that climate resilience needs to become a part of whatever development activity that we do, whether it is building climate resilient infrastructure or climate resilient agriculture, and we just have to take that into fact. This third is demographic transition. We have to be alert that a lot of demographic transition is taking place. Very soon we will be having more of the elderly. So, the care for these also has to be factored in. We need to be aware that Gen Z is going to be ruling the roost when 2047 comes, and so they have a different mindset. What is it that needs to be done? And then something which Mishra sir was mentioning, IT. It has invaded the whole thing so much, and for the better, that we all have to be constantly going with the IT changes that are taking place in deep tech and AI, so that we are also reaping the benefits. And finally, as I mentioned, the mindset. We have to now completely have that growth mindset and ensure that we are part of this beautiful growth story that is unfolding and is going to unfold before our eyes. Thank you.
So we extend our heartfelt gratitude.
So, you have heard all the three speakers, and sir, I must tell, each one of you have scored a double century. अगर एक टीम में 3 बैट्समैन डबल सेंचुरी नॉट आउट रहते हैं, उस टीम का मैच ऐसा ही डिसाइड हो गया समझ लीजिए. I must tell, this is definitely a very interesting session, but the next session will be equally interesting or more. We already have guests arrived, Mr. Manmohan Samal, President BJP. We have Mr. Panchanan Kanungo, former minister, and Mr. Pratap Dev. We are discussing about your brilliance while talking to Mr. Hemant Sharma. So, you have heard all of them. If there is any question, maybe few questions can be taken, so that we will close this session with a very inspiring note. Is there any question? I hope the way you have spoken, there may not be any question, but 1 or 2 questions may be appreciated. कुछ है? नहीं है? आ जाओ.
Now we would request Mr. Shiv Prasad Kar, CGM Finance, TPCODL, to please come on stage and present memento to Anu Garg ma'am.
Now we would request CA Abhishek Sinha, Chief Business Finance, TSM Tata Steel, to please come up on stage and present memento to Mr. Hemant Sharma.
Would request CA Amit Goyal, FC TPWODL, to please come on stage and present memento to Mr. Durga Shankar Mishra.
I, CA Sangram Patnaik, welcome all the dignitaries for the 5th technical session of this 2 days National CA Conclave. This technical session, your vision, Samruddha Odisha, role of CAs. Today we will, in this technical session, we will witness a very different kind of deliberation that will be handled by Sri Manmohan Samalji, President, BJP Odisha. Sir, please, welcome to the stage. Our last one was done. Same chapter. This session, this will be the first time you will witness the experts live on stage. We have seen these experts debating in screen, but this time you will witness them live discussing about this Samruddha Odisha. Sir, this Bharat at 2047, this is the theme of this 2-day conclave. In this session, we will have Sri Pratap Kesari Dev, Honorable MLA and former Minister, Odisha. Along with him, Sri Panchanan Kanungo, former Finance Minister, Odisha. And the moderator of this session will be Mr. Manas Das. Now I will request the other dignitaries, Sri Pratap Kesari Dev, to kindly grace this stage. I welcome Sri Panchanan Kanungo, former Finance Minister, to the stage. Please give them a big round of applause. And I will also request Sri Manas Das ji, please. We have seen you, sir, always in the TV. Mic. Though these galaxy of stars need not need any introduction, so for ceremonial purpose, I am introducing all the dignitaries on the dais. Sri Manmohan Samalji is a senior and highly respected leader of the Bharatiya Janata Dal in Odisha, BJP. Currently serving as the president of BJP Odisha, he has held his position multiple times, reflecting the party's enduring trust in his leadership. Sir began his political journey as a student politics as a leader of the Akhilya Bharatiya Vidya Parishad, ABVP, and was elected president of the Bhadrak College Students' Union way back in 1979. Sir steadily rose through the BJP ranks over the years, a former Minister of Revenue, Food Supplies and Consumer Welfare in the Odisha government. He has also served as a member of the Legislative Assembly from Dhamnagar. Known for his strong organizational skills and significant contribution to the party's growth in the state, Sir continues to play a pivot role in shaping Odisha's political landscape. Thank you, sir, for giving an opportunity to be here. May I request Mir sir, our past president, to please offer a sapling to sir.
आदेश गोटे के अना तो कॉलेज 3 4 5 6 ऑन करो.
Now, let me introduce Sri Pratap Kesari Devji. Sir is an honorable MLA and a former minister in Odisha. Sir is a prominent Indian politician from the state of Odisha and a member of the Biju Janata Dal party. He is currently a member of the Legislative Assembly representing Ali constituency in the Odisha Legislative Assembly. He has been elected as an MLA from the same constituency multiple times across the 12th, 13th, 16th, 17th. The 17th is the current one, Odisha Legislative Assembly. He served as a minister in the Naveen Patnaik-led BJD government. His portfolios include industries, micro, small and medium enterprises, energy, food supplies and consumer welfare, and employment and technical education, IT, at different times. He notably served as the Energy and Industry Minister from June 2022 to June 2024. He was also elected unopposed to the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the Indian Parliament, in a bipoll in May 2017 and served until June 2019. May I request Sugyan sir, the past president, to please offer a sapling to Pratap Dev sir. Now, may I introduce Sri Panchanan Kanungo sir. He is a politician from Indian National Congress. Sri Kanungo started his career as a journalist. He has completed his post-graduation in history from Utkal University in 1973. He was a member of 17th, 7th, 11th and 12th Odisha Legislative Assembly. He is a former finance minister of Odisha. He is a veteran leader and a huge knowledge in dissecting every budget. Sir, every time we see you on TV just after budget. It was really scintillating to hear you dissecting the budgets, every state budget and union budget. May I request Rashmi sir, our past president, past secretary, past chairman, to please offer a sapling to Panchanan sir. Now, I have the honor to introduce Sri Manas Das, the moderator of this technical session, a well-known media person, and we witness them every evening in prime time TV. Mr. Das is a MSc Applied Physics, MPhil from Kwansei Gakuen University, Japan, PhD in Solid State Physics, Journalism, National Institute of Mass Communication, Delhi. He has done his internship in NDTV, then Lokmat News, then The Wire, then assistant producer in Z News Hindi, then Z News Odisha, then Nakshatra News, then Kanak News. Now he is working with the News 18 Odia. Sir is a distinguished person from the media. May I request Pranab Das, our MC member, to kindly give a sapling to Manas sir. Now may I request Manas sir, the moderator of the evening, to kindly take over the stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The chartered accountants are, in my words, money doctor. They check our financial health. They help in making big decisions like investing money, expanding our money, and government taxes. Thank you very much, Rajiv sir, for this opportunity. I'm honored. I feel honored for this. It is going to be a wonderful session. आम सहित ओडिशा बीजेपी रो सभापति मनमोहन सामल रही पूर्वतन मंत्री आ तीन पूर्वतन मंत्री आम सहित स्टेज रे अछंती आउ सेइथि पाई मु कहूची इट इज गोइंग टू बी ए वंडरफुल सेशन फॉर ऑल चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स ऑल मनी डॉक्टर्स प्रथमे आरंभ करबा पई चाहिबी मनमोहन बाबू आपणक ठारो ए किछि समय पूर्वरो श्री हेमंत शर्मा और अनु गर्ग जो सब रिपोर्ट दौले आओ विभिन्न सुनेली स्वप्न देखौथिले गोल्डन ड्रीम्स आमे देखुथुलु जे 2036 मसीहा पर्यंत ओडिशा एमती हे जाइथिबो आउ आमे एमती आगु को जाउछु ए प्रकार एक कथा देखेबा पई चेष्टा करूथिले मनमोहन बाबू मु बुझवा पई चेष्टा करबी जे आमे सब बेले सुनिछु जे डेवलपमेंट इज अ प्रोसेस गोटिए पर गोटिए सरकार आसंती आ समस्ते ऑप्टिमिस्टिक थांती जे आमे आगो को नेकी जीवु राज्य को आपण माने एया कहबा पई एबे चेष्टा करूचंती कि जे आमे टिके अधिक ऑप्टिमिस्टिक अछु अन्य मानक ठारो मनमोहन बाबू
समस्त नमस्कार आज प्रताप भाई अछंती पंचान भाई अछंती मानस बाबू ये आमर आलोचना आरंभ कर प्रयास ऑल इंडिया चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट का सर्वभारतीय सम्मेलनी रे हम कहबार सुजोग देछन तेणु मु धन्यवाद मो तरफ दूँ समस्त तरफ दूँ जो विषय मत पचार असंभव किसी को डिक्शनरी लिखाईनी संभावना सबु जगार अच्छी आज कई दिन भावी नथिला ओडिशा इतिहास रे गोटे वर्षकर सरकार 70 लाख टका इन्वेस्टमेंट ओडिशा को आसीबो से शिल्प पई हो कृषि भित्तिक शिल्प पई हो पर्यटन पई हो एभली संभावना संभव हो पारला आमे सब आशावादी हवा पॉजिटिव हवा आउ कार्य आम जिते जो कथा को स्वप्न देखिले योजना करेंगे क्रियान्वयन करेंगे आ इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे क्रियान्वयन हेले पुणी समीक्षा करी तार किसी संशोधन कराइपारे आम यदि संभावना देखानी आउ असंभव भाविया है नथिला 1200 वर्ष पराधीन थिला देश स्वाधीन है 78 वर्ष स्वाधीनता पर ओडिशा रे विकास हेनी एमती किए विकास त्वरान्वित हाँपाई ओडिशा 1 नंबर राज्य हम ये परिकल्पना समस्त मन रहा दरकार ये समृद्ध ओडिशा जो टार्गेट 2036 रखाई 2047 विकसित ओडिशा रखाई निश्चित भाव हो
हेलो मनमोहन बाबू मु सही प्रश्न हेलो हेलो जे आपण माने अधिक ऑप्टिमिस्टिक की एथि पई पचारिली जे विकास आगरो हेई आसुथिला आपण माने केवल ता ऊपर इटा थोइले ना विकास आउ थरे आरंभ कले बोली आपण कहबा पई चेष्टा करछन्ते
सेमती आत्मगर्व करिवार आवश्यकता एठी नहीं गर्व अहंकार को भगवान सही नांती आमे आशावादी लोक एवं जो कार्य हो पारिबो ताकू आमे योजनाबद्ध भाव से कार्य करिवार आवश्यकता अछि गवर्नमेंट गोटे कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस सरकार किसी करी नहीं किसी करी नथिला ये कथा मु कहबिनी लोक तो विचार करेंगे जे लोकंर अपेक्षा 78 वर्ष भीतर कौन थिला कौन है आम तो 17 मास पूरा है आज 18 मास आरंभ है आम आज एवं आम 1.5 वर्ष सरकार हैनु किंतु मु आशावादी जे निश्चित भाव में जहाँ लोकों मन रे स्वप्न थिला स्वाधीनता आंदोलन पराधीन देश रे ताकू पूरा करने आम सब प्रकार चेष्टा उद्यम निश्चित करूँ।
आज्ञा प्रताप बाबू आपण को मोर प्रश्न रहिबो कारण आपण पूर्वतन इंडस्ट्री मिनिस्टर किछि समय पूर्वर हेमंत बाबू गोटे ग्राफ देखुथिले मोटे फोटो से थ्रू नेली आ से बारंबार गोटे शब्द व्यवहार करुथिले जे जो सब कंपनी गुडी को आपण स्टेज ऊपर देखुचंती ए 2 वर्ष भितर हेछि से वेल्सपन रो कथा कहले श्याम स्टील रो कथा कहले प्रीमियम रो कथा कहले जे 2023 परे सब कथा ओडिसा को आसीछि हेलो आउ ता पूर्वर ए संख्या टिके कम थिला आपण जेतु से मिनिस्ट्री रे रही भी सारिचंती सेतेबेले ओडिसा कौन थिला आ एबे ओडिसा कौन अछि आपणको आखिर आपण केमती देखुचंती प्रताप बाबू?
देखो जो प्रश्न आपण कले
आज्ञा
प्रथम तो जोटा हेमंत बाबू कहले मनमोहन बाबू जोटा कहउछन गवर्नमेंट इज ए कंटीन्यूअस प्रोसेस मो पछरे आपण एडवर्टाइजमेंट जति लोगो लगा है ये सब 24 पूर्वर अर्थात ये नु कि मो माने बासपट मारिया चाहूनी कि आमे करिथलु ये किछ करना इट्स रॉन्ग प्रोसेसटा आरंभ होइतला दन वेल्सपन फाउंडेशन स्टोन आमे देथुल बर्तमान प्रोसेसटा आरंभ हो गला तो इट्स ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस फैक्ट्री को कंप्लीट करिया पे 3-4 वर्ष लागिवो सो हुसोवर इज द गवर्नमेंट से क्रेडिट से ताक पाखु जीवो सेतल के पचारन केबे आरंभ होइतला सेमि जदि आपण ये जति आलोचना को आपण जुआडू नौचंती ताको जीवा पूर्व आपन को एक्चुअली ओडिसा बैकग्राउंड बुझा पड़ो आम भारत स्वाधीन है 1947 बेलू ये कौन विशेष एमती इंडस्ट्री नाला सुन प्रथम इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन आरंभ कले स्वर्गत प्रभात पुरुष विजु पट्टनायक से कलिंग ट्यूब्स आरंभ कर गोटा रीतिमत कौन से कारखाना ओडिशा देखला सेटू और ना सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अनुदान जोटा कि राउरकेला स्टील प्लांट कहतु ये केतटा कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट आरंभ है राज्य में यहाँ हूँ 60 दशक और 70 दशक कहानी 80 दशक फिर पुनर्बार बड़ इन्वेस्टमेंट आसला हूँ आपंकर नाल्को एवं तापर एमती नुह कि से भी सरकार चेष्टा करना तत्कालीन मुख्यमंत्री 1000 दिन 1000 शिल्प कहीकि चेष्टा करते सक्सेस फेल्योर इज डिबेटेबल कि चेष्टाटा होता 80 दशक चेष्टा भी होता इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन 90 दशक से आहरी आगे पादे बढ़ला एवं जो 2000 मसीह जो फेर सरकार आसला या पुनर्बार टेकअप करने चेष्टा करागला आपणकर वेदांता कहतु कि स्टील प्लांट लगे जो सरकार प्रयास कले गोटे बड़ जिनस सामना को आसला कि आम सीना इंडस्ट्री होचे आर वी प्रिपेयर्ड टू टेक द एडवांटेज आउट ऑफ दोस इंडस्ट्रीज
यस
ओडिशा से अवस्था नथला बिकॉज वी डिडंट हैव टेक्निकल हैंड जदि राउरकेला स्टील प्लांट है जदि नाल्को है ओडिया पिला माने बा ओडिया ओडिशा एज सच टिकस छड़ा किसी पेरिफेरल डेवलपमेंट आम किसी हो पारे कहीं आम वेयर विदल ना टेक्निकल नॉलेज ना टेक्निकल हैंड ना तो मैसिव इन्वेस्टमेंट करागला टेक्निकल एजुकेशन उपर तो मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटीज आपणकर इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस ITIs IITs ये सब आप देखिए ये सब 2000 मसीहा बर्तमान भितर प्रोसेसटा आरंभ है एवं जो बड़ इंडस्ट्री मझे आसिले 2001 ରୁ 2009 भितर अन्य बटलनेक है आप पस्को गोटे बड़ उदाहरण आप सामने अच्छी रेजिस्टेंस इंडस्ट्री को ग्रहण करा फर्स्ट पॉपुलेशन रो स्वीकृति दरकार एंड पॉपुलेशन आपंकर जनसंख्या जो डेमोग्राफिक बारंबार आमर DC कहते महोदय पूर्व सेशन में कहते डेमोग्राफी आगे ये जिनस को ग्रहण कर अवस्था को आने दरकार तापर गोटे सोशल प्लेटफॉर्म दरकार एवं से भाया एजुकेशनल बैकग्राउंड एंड बैकअप वर्कफोर्स हेले टेक्निकल नवा हेले आपण जिनसटा आगू को नेबे जदि आप स्मरण थी से समय पेपर हेडलाइन मीडिया हेडलाइन वाज अनाहार मृत्यु चाषी समस्या धान उठू नहीं सोशल सेक्टर समस्या गुड़ा था इंडस्ट्रियल का मुंड ही जाऊन तो ये समस्त को अतिक्रम करके 15 मसीह फर्स्ट IPR आसला इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी रेजोल्यूशन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ओडिशा 15 मसीह एवं ताको संशोधन करागला 22 मसीह एवं जो माने ACS आप हेमंत शर्मा जो देखते यहाँ हूँ से श्रृंखलार गोटे जिन आज भी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ओडिशा जोटा मनमोहन कहले गवर्नमेंट से कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस 2022 मसीहा इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी रेजोल्यूशन आप नक्शा देखुले किए आगे आइला किए पछा आइला किए क्या समाज दैट इज नॉट द पॉइंट ऑफ डिबेट जो कथा गवर्नमेंट सिंस द कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस गवर्नमेंट जब ये पॉलिसी को आगू नब आ सॉलिड फाउंडेशन हैज बीन गिवन मुझे आपको ये कहीपरि ऑडियंस को ये कहीपरि आज तारीख में ओडिशा हैज गॉट अ वेरी सॉलिड फाउंडेशन ये फाउंडेशन को आम नहीं कि केमी सुपर स्ट्रक्चर तैयारी करवा that depends on the present government.
Okay,
or whosoever
କଥା
is the
ବାବୁ
government.
ଆପଣ ଏଇଆ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଗୋଟେ ଫାଉଣ୍ଡେସନ ଆମେ ଦେଇ ଦେଇଛୁ ଏବେ ଯାହା ଆସିବ ଆଗକୁ ଯିବ
ଖାଲି ଫାଉଣ୍ଡେସନ ନୁହେଁ ଆଜ୍ଞା, ରକ୍ ସଲିଡ୍ ଫାଉଣ୍ଡେସନ।
ଓକେ ରକ୍ ସଲିଡ୍
ରକ୍ ସଲିଡ୍ ଫାଉଣ୍ଡେସନ ଇନ୍ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସ ମୁଁ କହିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, ମୋ ପୂର୍ବ ପ୍ୟାନେଲର ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ଉକ୍ତି ଶୁଣିଲେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଅନୁଗର ଡିସି ଯେ କହିଲେ ଏଜ୍ କୁ ବୁଝଉଥିଲେ ଇକ୍ୱିଟି ଫିସ୍କାଲ ରିଫର୍ମ 95 ପାଖରେ ବସିଛନ୍ତି, ହି ୱାଜ୍ ଦେନ୍ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସ ମିନିଷ୍ଟର, ହି ଇଜ୍ ୱାନ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଦ ସେୟାର ହୋଲ୍ଡର୍ସ ଅଫ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇକ୍ୱିଟି ରିଫର୍ମ। ଆଜି ଯଦି ଇଣ୍ଡିଆର ଆମର ଫିସ୍କାଲ ରିଫର୍ମ ତ ସବୁଯାଏ ବେଷ୍ଟ ଅଛି, ୱାନ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଦ କ୍ରେଡିଟ୍ ହୋଲ୍ଡର ହେଉଛନ୍ତି 95 ଏଣ୍ଡ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ଏଫର୍ଟ ଅଛି। ସେତେବେଳେ ମନମୋହନ ବାବୁ ଥିଲେ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ, ଅଲ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଆମେ 3 ଜଣ ଯେ ବସୁ वी आर ଅନ୍ ଦ ସେମ୍ ପେଜ୍ ସେମ୍ ବୋଟ୍। आज जदि 2000 मसीहा पर ओडिशा को फिस्कल डेफिसिट रु आनिकी आज गोटे सरप्लस स्टेट को अणाई इट टुक 24 इयर्स, इट्स नॉट अ स्मॉल टाइम, गोटे शताब्दी 1/4। तेणुक एवरीबडी हैज गॉट अ कंट्रीब्यूशन। रॉक सॉलिड एट मैं कहूँ आज आपको टेक्निकल नवा हो, चिल्ड्रेन आर मच मोर बेटर एजुकेटेड, बेटर सोशल वैल्यूज, बेटर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, बेटर कम्युनिकेशन, आईटी सेक्टर ओपन, रॉ मटेरियल्स एक्सप्लॉयटेशन आरंभ होती, मेजर इंडस्ट्री जोटा कि रॉ मटेरियल इंडस्ट्री जोटा कहते एल्युमिनियम पावर आपणकर आयरन मैंगनीज क्रोमाइड बेस मेटल दोज इंडस्ट्रीज आर ऑलरेडी सेट नाउ आपण यहाँ पर सुपरस्ट्रक्चर को जीवे।
ठीक अच्छे सर। पंचानन बाबू जिते भी टंकार कथा आसे बजेट्र कथा आसे आमे आपण को खोजु आउ आपण थरे थरे सकारात्मक बा पॉजिटिव मत दियंती आउ गुड़ाए वेलफेयर स्कीम को लेकर आपणकर अनेक प्रकार मतामत थाए। आज प्रताप बाबू जो कथा कहले मिलित सहयोग गोटे कथा कहले आम 3 पार्टी बसईचु गोटे मिलित सहयोग कथा कहले जहाँकि गोटे प्रैक्टिकल कथा किंतु जहाँ विधानसभा रे देखा जाए ना कि पॉलिटिकल डिबेट रे देखा जाए ना। मु पंचानन बाबू आपण ठारू बुझापी चेष्टा करी जे आपण जो ओडिशा को देखी देखी आसीथिले आपणकर अनुभव बहुत अधिक, आपण सतरे भावंती कि जे ओडिशार इकोसिस्टम एमती गोटे जगार पहुंची यही प्रकार रे ओडिशा को गढ़ा जाइछि जे एबे ओडिशा को जे कोनोसी प्रकार इंडस्ट्री आसिले जे कोनोसी प्रकार इन्वेस्टमेंट आसिले जो फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट आसिले ओडिशा इज ऑलमोस्ट प्रिपेयर्ड पूरा प्रस्तुत रही। पंचानन बाबू
नहीं जे कोनोसी प्रकार बा जे कोनोसी भाबरे जो सरकार आसिले बा जो अवस्था आसिले जे उन्नति हो जो बा विकास होबो मु से कथारे जमा एकमत नुहे। तार कारण होउची गोटे विज्ञान सम्मत कथा रही आम पाखरे आम ये जो 3 जन बसीचु गोटे कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस आमर सरकार जी भी आसतु केतबले सी एकाठी केतबले मु सी एकाठी परमुटेशन कम्बिनेशन अनुसार सरकार चली किंतु ओडिशार प्रगति बा जो समृद्ध ओडिशा बोली शब्दटी व्यवहार करते आग ताकू डिफाइन करा जाऊ सेटा कौन चाहते मो मतरे प्रथम डेफिनेशन होची वैषम्य आंचलिक वैषम्य दूर हवा अंचल अंचल भितर एत वैषम्य अच्छी मालकानगिरी रे आज 70% छुआ होती आपणकर माल न्यूट्रिशन प्रभाव से कथा आज पुरी रे नुहे कि खोर्धा जिले में नुहे। एणु प्रथम कथा है ये कथाटा ऊपर आखि रखा उचित। द्वितीय कथा है इनइक्वालिटी इनकम एका भुवनेश्वर रहीकि आमे जे एमएलए थरे पेंशन पाइलु 1,70,000 टंका पर्यंत आमर चली जाऊँ जदि मु 7 थर 6 थर के एमएलए अथच आउ गोटे 1500 टंका पाइबापी कि लड़े करुँच
दरमा बढ़ी
एणु आकु केमिति मीट करा जीवो। शुणु ये दुईटी जाक कथा गोटे हूँ इनइक्वालिटी ऑफ इनकम आउ गोटे हूँ रिजनल इम्बालांसेस। रिजनल इम्बालांस संपर्क में मुझे कहीदिए 2002 मसीह एसके महांती जस्टिस एसके महांती अध्यक्षतार गोटे कमिटी होता जो कमिटी कहला से कमिटर रिपोर्ट पदा को आसला नहीं से कुआड़े जाइथिला कि खंडे रिपोर्ट मु पाई जाइथिली से कमिटी रे कहा जाइथिला रिपोर्ट रे कहा जाइथिला जे जोठी दीटा सबुठारु बड़ स्टील प्लांट होइछि गोटे हूँ राउरकेला गोटे हूँ टाटा टाटा बेस्ड ऑन मयूरभंज सुलेपाट जो खଣି खादान अंचल मयूरभंज आ केउझर एवं ये हूँ सुंदरगढ़ ये 3टी जाक जिला सारा ओडिशा रे सबुठारु दरिद्रतम जिला अवहेलित जिला केवल रास्ता घाट को छाड़ीदे आ सब व्यवस्था खराब थिला। एणु स्टील प्लांट गढ़ीदे बा गोटे बड़ प्लांट करदे आमर अभिज्ञता अच्छी यही जगटा हूँ सबुठारु खराब। आम आउ के नुआ अभिज्ञता समय देखिलु ବିଜୁ ଜନତା ଦଳ ସମୟରେ ଯେ ସେଇଠି କଳିଙ୍ଗନଗର ରେ ଏଡ଼େ ବଡ଼ ପ୍ଲାଣ୍ଟ ସବୁ କଥା ଗୁଡ଼େ ପ୍ଲାଣ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି କଳିଙ୍ଗନଗର ହେଉଛି ଷ୍ଟିଲ୍ ହବ୍ ବୋଲି କୁହାଯାଉଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ଗୋଟେ ନଗଡ଼ା ଅଛି ଯେଉଁଠି ପିଲାମାନେ ଖାଇବା ବିନା ସେଠି ବଟ୍ ଯେଉଁ ଅବସ୍ଥା ଥିଲା ଆପଣମାନେ ତାକୁ ଦେଖାଉଥିଲେ ଭିଜନ୍ ଏଣୁ କଥାଟା ହେଉଛି ଆଗ ଭିଜନ୍ ପେପରଟି ଡିସାଇଡ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ଆପଣ ଖାଲି ଗୋଟେ ଫର୍ମୁଲା ଦେଇଦେଉଛି S is equal to UT plus half FT square अर्थात आम यही डिस्टेंस रे आम अमृतकाल माने 150 वर्ष आम वंचित पाखे नहीं जाने ना जदि आम ठीक करवा 36 मसीहा जदि ठीक करवा 47 मसीहा तार डिस्टेंस S इज फिक्स्ड यही वर्ष जाए आम जा से एस रे पहुँचापी से डिस्टेंस रे आम जो कभर करवा से आमर यू माने आमर इनिशियल प्रॉपर्टी कौन आम पाखे अच्छी एवं आमर केते समय ये जो एतिक वर्ष भितर आम केमिति ताको एक्सिलरेट करला सेठी पहुँची पारिबा ये गोटे भारी विज्ञान कथा एतरे किछि माने आउ किछि कला चातुरी नाही आकु जो साइंटिस्ट माने आज चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट रो बहुत बड़ विज्ञ लोक मैंने बसचंती से माने बसचंती मु जो कथा कहूची से माने केते दूर तक एप्रिशिएट करिवे मु जानि नै किंतु जदि विज्ञान सम्मत भाव में न करा जाए आपण केबे गोटे समृद्ध राज्य रे परिणत ना 1936 रे हेबे ना 1947 रे हेबे ना आपणकर जो कहउचंती अमृत काल को काल रे पहुंचीबे जमा हेई पारिबो नै
गोटे बड़ प्रश्नटे उठैचंती पंचानन बाबू मनमोहन बाबू बोधवे आपण तार उत्तर दे परिबे कारण 2024 इलेक्शन समय मु व्यक्तिगत भाव में छोटिया अनुभव रे 200 रु अधिक गाँ बुलिबार सुजोग पाइछि आ किछि समय पूर्व बसिथिबा समय आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को मु प्रश्न पचारुथिली जे जो चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट को भितर मु बसिछि ए माने ओडिसार केते लोकंक पाखकु पहुंची पारंते उत्तर आसिला 2.1% मैक्सिमम आउ केही चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट बोली ए शब्द को कान पाखकु आनी पारंती नाही ए इनइक्वालिटी को आपण माने दूर करि परिबे कि ना केवल आम भुवनेश्वर कटक पुरी राउरकेला पारादीप कथा कहीकि सब जिनस बंची जाऊथवा मनमोहन बाबू
मु तो नम्रतार सहित कहबी जे आर्गुमेंट एंडिंग नहीं आम समस्ते जदि सब कथार तार कनक्लूजन को जावाक पड़ो तार रास्ता बाहर करा पड़ो जदि गुजरात रे गोटे किलो कोयला नहीं गोटे किलो लुहापथर नहीं गुजरात जदि विकसित हो पारला ओडिशा रे नई नाल नहीं पानी नहीं वर्षा 5 दिन वर्षा होनी दिन अधे वर्षा है पानी के बस्ता रे माटी पके लोक ग्राउंड लेवल वाटर को डेवलप इम्प्रूव करोचंती से गुजरात जदि गुजरात हो पारला एवं इंडिया आज भारतवर्षर शीर्ष रे पहुँच पारला ताले ओडिशा रे संभावना कौन कम अच्छे आम आशावादी लोक मु निराशावादी लोक नुह आम समय 5 वर्ष किसी छोटिया समय नुह मु 78 वर्ष विषय को जीविनी 5 वर्ष भितर बहुत काम कर संभव हो पार जदि आम इच्छा शक्ति थी जदि आम वातावरण ठीक कर समस्त भितर मानसिकता ठीक एवं सरकार इच्छा शक्ति लोकों को मोबिलाइज कर जदि गोटे लीडरशिप आउ लोकों भीतर टीम स्पिरिट आज आम पाखे सबू अच्छी आम धनी राज्य आम गरीब होती आम कारण रही मैन मेड ये मनुष्य कृत्य कहबार बिल्कुल मोर मना नहीं पानी नदी रे जीव समुद्र को पानी मैनेजमेंट आम करवानी आम दोष दवा जे पानी बोईगला आम किसी करें आम पाखे खनिज संपद सागर माछ रेट आम 78 वर्ष है विदेश को रप्तानी करवा भैल्यू एडिशन करवानी आम कह आम दुर्भाग्य आम भाग्यर खराब था आम एग्रोवेस्ट इंडस्ट्री करवानी आम 78 वर्ष पर कागजपत्र कौन अच्छी जानी 12% जमीर टेल एंड को पानी माड़ेनी जमी गोटे क्रॉप करने आकाश को अनेक पड़े जदि लो प्रेसर हम आम चाष करवा एवं ये स्थिति रे आम दोष निजक दफा कारण आम आत्मसमीक्षा कर आम कौन करवा उचित आज क्या मुझे दौनी लेट बैगन बी बैगन मु विगत दिन कौन होती भूली जा आम आशावादी हवा सामग्रिक विकास केमती हम
किंतु मनमोहन बाबू आपण कथा इशारा रे बहुत कथा कहि देले
गोटे दी लाइन कहि
आज्ञा आज्ञा
95 गोटे भल कथा कहले जे माल न्यूट्रिशन होची मालकानी दिमत नहीं आज लोकंकर इक्वालिटी नहीं किए न जान ये भुवनेश्वर रे लोक अछंती डेली लेबर रे काम करछन 500 टका पाउना आज ओडिया लोक 12 लाख ओडिया केरल ले जाई होटल ले काम करके डेली 1200 1500 2000 टका पाउछंती बैकवाटर मैनेजमेंट करी केरल ले किछि नहीं टूरिज्म रे समान पैसा कमाउछन आम पाखे बेलाभूमि अच्छी तालसारी भली गोटे बीच कौटी अच्छे आप ना शुणी न तालसारी दीघा पाखु 8 किलोमीटर ओडिशा जोटिकी दीघार किसी बीच नहीं किंतु होटेल है लोक रोचंती कोटी कोटी टका उपार्जन हो रेल लाइन अच्छी एवरीथिंग अच्छी माने आम पाखे सब बीच अच्छी चिलिका क्या पाखे अच्छी आम पाखे चिलिका अच्छी आम पाखे जंगल संपद अच्छी आम पाखे 10 लाख कचिमासी अंडा डेल दौरान ओडिशा आमे आम पाखे सबू अच्छी आम कले जगह अच्छी जमी अच्छी
ना मनमोहन बाबू आपण माने करूचंती त
करिया पई 17 लाख कोटी इन्वेस्टमेंट आसला करिया पई जो प्रोसेस मु कहली 5 वर्ष समय सफिशिएंट बोली कहली 5 वर्ष पूरा हैनी 5 वर्ष पूरा है आम उत्तर देवु जे आम 5 वर्ष एति करिया पई स्थिर करछु जदि आम 5 वर्ष भितर सर्वनिम्न काम आम न करि पारलु मौलिक समस्या समाधान न करि पारलु जोटा 95 कहूँ मौलिक समस्या सामग्रिक विकास समस्ते कोटिए लोक बाहर दादन खटिए सेटा जमी कहते ये डेभलपमेंट 25 लाख दारिद्र्य सीमा रेखा तौक आसे केमती आए 25 लाख दारिद्र्य 19 नंबर आम देश 19 नंबर थिला 11 नंबर को आएगा पुणी 4 नंबर क्यों देश आएगा अर्थनीति आम तो डेभलप कर आज ओडिशा रे सबू अच्छी केवल आम आमर पॉजिटिवनेस दरकार एटमॉस्फेयर दरकार इच्छा शक्ति दरकार आम मान आम आमर जो विल पावर से विल पावर को आम स्ट्रॉन्ग करा कठिन परिश्रम करा पड़ो 5 वर्ष कठिन परिश्रम कले आमको
फल मिल कहते ठीक अच्छे मनमोहन बाबू प्रताप बाबू मनमोहन बाबू 5 वर्षर कथा कहते कि 2008 को टिके माइनस करदेवी जिते बड़े आपण मैंने मिलित गवर्नमेंट रे थिले 2009 पर 2024 पर्यंत मु हिसाब भी करी प्रताप बाबू जो जो उदाहरण दौले मनमोहन बाबू जे एटा ही पारि नथिला सेटा ही पारि नथिला आमर गोटे पॉलिटिकल विल रो आवश्यकता रही से पॉलिटिकल विल को लेकरी आपणक आड़ को टिके इशारा करुथिले कि मनमोहन बाबू ता ऊपर आपणकर उत्तर कौन देबे प्रताप बाबू
देखो आपण होचंती पेशार सांबादिक तेणु सदाବେଳେ आपको इशारा देखा जो बुझिले आमे आसे से जो मंच रे जो टॉपिक दिया है आमे ताकू छाड़ी के आमे टीवी
नहीं प्रताप बाबू जेतेबेले तीन नहीं नहीं प्रताप बाबू तीन राजनैतिक दल जेतेबेले बसिचंती लोक माने प्रश्न करिवे जे किए कोन करिथिले आ किए कोन करिवे
आपण से प्रश्न तैयारी करछु जानिबे जो कथा पंचानब कथा कहले जो कथा मनमोहन बाबू कहले आमे जो संक्रांत रे बसिचे देयर आर टू वेज दीटा बाट अच्छी जिनस को देखिया पाई आगे नजरिया ठीक करूँ
आगे
गोटे आड़े आपण अर्थनैतिक व्यवस्था को वृद्धि बा ग्रॉस जीएसडीपी कहतु जीडीपी कथा कहतु इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन कथा कहतु सेटा गोटे भिन्न लाइन सामाजिक न्याय ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स गोटे सेपरेट लाइन आइडियल सिचुएशन होची कि ह्यूमन इंडेक्स डेवलपमेंट लाइन शुड बी एट पार विथ द इंडस्ट्रियल बा फाइनेंशियल लाइन
राइट
ये दुईटार सामंजस्य हवा एमती कौन से देश पृथ्वी रे नहीं जोटिका सामान अच्छे कम्युनिज्म फेल्ड सोशलिज्म फेल्ड व्हाट प्रिवेल्ड इन द वर्ल्ड जदि आपण ये जो डिबेट कर हैव नॉट रो एटा गोटे वृथा आलोचना जुगे जुगे सत्य जुगर मध्य आज पर्यंत कली जुग पर्यंत किछि लोक समृद्ध थिले किछि लोक गरीब थिले एमिति केबे को समाज तैयारी है नहीं जोड़ी समस्त समान थिले
प्रताप बाबू
आगे अब आपण बेसिक फाउंडेशन सुनो आगे बेसिक फाउंडेशन क्लियर आपण अमेरिका रे हंगर नहीं रास्तार लोक सौ नाहंती समस्त में घर अच्छी यूरोप अवस्था से नहीं कौ देश नहीं मत कहे सबू देश अच्छे आगे आपण ताकू जदि इक्वेट करेंगे इट्स अ मॉरलिस्टिक डिस्कशन रियलिस्टिक नुहे
किंतु प्रताप बाबू आमे एई कथा करि परिबा कि जे जो कथा को नेकरी सब बेले कंप्लेन हुए जे जते बेले आमे गोटे इंडस्ट्री आनुछु आमे पाखो लोकन को चाकरी तो देई परिबा ना
गोटे मिनिट आगे कोठी लिखा है कि इंडस्ट्रीटा एठिले सेटिका लोक चाकरी कर आपण योग्यता थिले निश्चय चाकरी पाइबे नंबर 1 आपण कहउछथि ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्सटा सबुजा स्लो बढ़े आमे बा ओडिया रे निजे साहित्य को अभिजात परिवर्तन करया गले 7 पुरुष दरकार 7 पीढ़ी दरकार यू आर ट्राइंग टू चेंज द जनरेशनल माइंड विद इन वन जनरेशन कोठी साहित्य हो इतिहास रे कोठी हेलानी है नहीं अभिजात 7 प्रजन्म रे परिवर्तन हुए आपण एका 50 वर्ष भीतर अभिजात परिवर्तन करने जो चिंता करते एटा वृथा चिंताधारा नंबर 1 आपण ओडिसा रे उदाहरण दउछ जो टिके पूर्व मु फास्ट कहउथली 2000 मसिया रे सरकार को आइला लोक हम 3 जण जाक संगे रहथिलु फर्स्ट आलोचना कौन क्षुदा मुक्त ओडिशा खाइया को नहीं सबुजा बेस्ट एग्जांपल मुझे भी सप्लाई डिपार्टमेंट प्रोक्योरमेंट इन ओडिशा वाज जस्ट 6.5 लाख मेट्रिक टन आवश्यकता थिला 13 लाख मेट्रिक टन पीडीएस रे आज तारीख में सरकार गत वर्ष हाईएस्ट एवर नहीं 98 लाख मेट्रिक टन पैडी प्रोक्योरमेंट कर चाउल रे कन्वर्ट कले 63 लाख चाउल है आप रिक्वायरमेंट आज तारीख में हूँ 27 लाख मेट्रिक टन पीडीएस रिक्वायरमेंट 2टा कंटीजेंसी 2 लाख कंटीजेंसी बात्या बनाए रखीदेला ये गोटे सरप्लस ऑफ 34 लाख मेट्रिक टन पैडी ये हूँ आज ओडिशार खाद्य भंडार स्थिति आज सरकार बिकी पार ना अड़ुआर पड़ते लोक 800 टका देदेले लोक धान बिकिदेले ये किणीदेले चाउल रे कन्वर्ट करदे थोईकी बही मुंड भत्ता केन्द्र सरकार नौने करेंगे कौन मो कथा बुझुच्छन्ति मुझे डिबेट को आपण जो आमर मूल डिबेट कथा कहूँ माल न्यूट्रिशन कथा कहुँ कि अन्न कथा कहुँ गवर्नमेंट दोज आर सोशल सेक्टर वी हैव टू स्ट्रेंथन आवर मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नेंस चोरी काली भी थिला चोरी आज भी अच्छी आसंता काली भी चोरी गोटे मिनट आगे जदि आपण भाबुचंती चोरी इराडिकेट कर दबे पृथ्वी रे के नेता अछि दया के ताकू आनंद हम रिजाइन कर दो
ठीक अछि पंचानन बाबू जो प्रैक्टिकल कथा गुडी को प्रताप बाबू कहउतिले जे यूरोप अमेरिकार कथा कहले जहाँ नहीं आमे भी विभिन्न आलोचना करूँ जो गरीबी को लेकिन आलोचना हुए आमे कौन गोटे देशर संपूर्ण गरीबी हटई दे पारिबा कि लोकों हाथ में एतिकी टंका दे दे पारिबा कि समस्ते गोटे मिडिल क्लास अपर मिडिल क्लास कि ता ऊपर को जावाई चेष्टा करेंगे यह एक प्रैक्टिकल प्रक्रिया कि जोटा प्रताप बाबू कहवाई चेष्टा करूँ
प्रथम कथा आलोचना करते गोटे इच्छा शक्ति इच्छा आम धरतु इनइक्वालिटी आप कहते बहुत डिफरेन्स अच्छी आम पूरापूरी समस्त को सामान कर दे पारिबा नहीं सब कथा किंतु रिड्यूस तो करि परिबा गोटे रिजनेबल ये भीतर रखिपर ठीक सेमती भाव में रिजनाल इम्बालान्सेस रही आंचलिक अंचल भितर आम ताको रिड्यूस कर मोर गोटे कथा जोड़े 3टे कथा मुझे खाली जानापी टे चाहूँगी मत मनमोहन बाबू कहे से कथाटा रख आम जो कथा गुड़िक कहूचे से को बांटुचे स्वप्न बांटू बा विजन पेपर तैयारी करूँ से आमर कौन खास खपड़ मतलब खसड़ा जोड़ा को आम कहूचे ब्लू प्रिंट ओडिशा तैयारी कराई 3 वर्ष 5 वर्ष यहाँ गोटे समय 3 वर्ष गोटे रेसीओ 5 वर्ष आउ टे अधिक रेसीओ हम किंतु खसड़ाटी कौन है माइल स्टोन गुड़िक 3 बा 5 वर्ष भर नंबर 1 नंबर 2 आम खसड़ा विषय किसी जानी ना कौन करा कौन ना खाली गोटे से बीजेडी जो ढंग से चलता से ढंग से स्लोगान चलती आउ कौन कथा ना द्वितीय कथा हूँ आम राज्य खावाई आ पिंधापी कि आम समस्ते जो मैंने बसीचे 25,000 कोटी टंका प्रति मासरे जाऊँगी बाहर को इज ए कलोनियल कॉन्सेप्ट आमर आम सबू अच्छी बोलिक आम भाषण मारुचु कहूँ सबू थी भी केवल धान किणवा व्यतीत चाउल किणवा व्यतीत आउ सबू किणवाई कि खाइबा बाबद क्षीर गुंड किणे जहाँ 25,000 कोटी टंका आम बाहर को जाऊँ आसंता 3 वर्ष भितर 5 वर्ष भितर आपको केते रिड्यूस करि परिबा आमे 10,000 कोटी टंका
मोर गोटे खाली प्रश्न आपन को जो कथा प्रताप बाबू कहते गोटे फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस आम फिजिक्स रे पढ़ू जे आमे एई फ्रेम रु देखुछु जे आमे कोठी थिलु आ कोठी के पहुंचीचु आपण जेतेबेले अर्थमंत्री थिले आ आज जेतेबेले 2025 मसीह मुख्यमंत्री मोहन चरण माझी फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर अच्छंती गुड़ाए परिवर्तन हेनी कि ना आपण कहउछन जे गुड़ाए हेई पारि थांता एतिक हेइचे ओ एतिक हेनी
नाइ परिवर्तन हेइची कहउछ पुरा बड़ बजेट हेइची बहुत माने आय भी होउची बहुत व्यय होउची मु आपण कहि रखे गोटाए समय रे हमर 365 दिन भितर 364 डेज 364 दिन आम जाऊँ जो समय मु दायित्व नेली मोर संकल्प नेली जे यही 3 वर्ष भितर 2 वर्ष भितर आम गोटे सरप्लस स्टेट को पहुँची पारिबा नहीं पहुँचवा कि नहीं आम डेफिसिट रे अच्छु डेफिसिट माने आम बहु वर्ष रहीचु आम पहुँच है 2006 मसीहा बेलू आम समस्ते गोटे सरप्लस स्टेट रे पहुँची गले गोटे विल पावर रहिले आम पहुँची पारिबा आपण जदि भावुंट गोटे सरकार रो निजर इच्छा शक्ति से भाव में दृढ़ भाव में रहे ताले निश्चित भाव में हो पार
मनमोहन बाबू से कहते आम इच्छा शक्ति बहुत अच्छी आ 5 वर्ष सरले आम रिजल्ट दबु
कथा शुणु इच्छा शक्ति जदि दृढ़ अच्छी से खसड़ाटी कौन मु तो सेतिक चाहूँगी जे मु 3टी जिनस चाहूँगी मु जमा कहूनी गोटे कथा हूँ प्रथम कथा आम खाइबा और पिंधिबा बाबद में आमे जो पैसा पदाकू दौचु ओडिशा बाहर को जाऊँगी से आमे केते परिमाण रे कमई पारिबा मु कहूना पूरा कमई देव 3 वर्ष भितर केते कमई पारिबा ताले आमे से हिसाब से करबा 5 वर्ष रे केते कमईबा नंबर 1 नंबर 2 प्रोडक्शन कथाटा अर्थ होची आ गोटे कथा द्वितीय कथाटी होची आमे हमर जो दादन श्रमिक बाहर को जाउछंती को प्रोसेस कौन कले आमे से दादन श्रमिकंकर संख्या पूरा पूरी ना अंतत 50% बा 40% तलू खसी आनी पारिबा ए कथा गुड़िक गोटे निर्दिष्ट ये जो ये पानी कथा कहते मनमोहन कहते आप जानी था पानीर अभाव नहीं ओडिशा रे ऊपर जो पानी 1400 मिलीमीटर वर्षा प्रति वर्ष 1400 ରୁ 1500 मिलीमीटर भीतर वर्षा होची किंतु दुर्भाग्यर कथा तार 56 भाग पानी समुद्र को सीधा सड़क जाऊँगी से बीजेडी सरकार हो बा जे हो मु पचारुची जो जो कथा गुड़िक होता पानी रोकवाई कि हीराकुदू आप रेंगाली कोलाव इंद्रावती से जिनस गुड़िक पानीर कापासीटी बर्तमान कमिगलानी जल धारण प्रक्रिया से गुड़िक कहीं करागला ना कौन रखी माइंड रे रही से कथा गुड़ाक निष्पत्ति हम
मनमोहन बाबू से ब्लूप्रिंट विषय तो कहे टे मो प्रश्न खाली मनमोहन बाबू को पचार दिए मनमोहन बाबू रघुराम राजन गोटे स्पीच आम शुणुलु से बारंबार गोटे कथा उपर फोकस करुले लोक मानकर हाथ को टंका आसवा दरकार आड़शा से समस्या एवं भी रही गाँ गाँव में लोक मान हाथ में टंका ना किंतु गोटे योजना को लेकर आप बाहास्फोट मारु थी पारती जे सुभद्रा योजना आम कलु महिला को 5000 टंका आम दौचु एवं कहुचे जे ये टंका आगक भी बढ़ो आम महिला हाथ को टंका देकी सशक्त करुचु आम ओडिशार विकास रे जो टंका को खर्च करने कथा से टंका को पर्सनलाइज फैक्टर रे लोक मान पाखक फ्रीविज हिसाब रे बांटिकी ओडिशार क्षति करुचे ना लाभ करुचे बोले आपण भावते आपण कॉन्सेप्ट कौन ता उपरे
प्रथम कथा होची जे जो विषय आपण आपण प्रश्न आगे उत्तर दे दो और हमें 95 किसी कथा पचार 5000 टंका बड़ कथा नुहे 50,000 टंका बड़ विषय नुहे 800 टंका धान क्विंटाल देदेले बड़ कथा नुहे गोटे कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डअप हम गोटे चाषी को 2,000 4,000 टंका सीएम रिलीफ सम्मान योजना कि पीएम सम्मान योजना 6,000 टंका वर्ष को देदेले से अंटी को पैसा आसले तार कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डअप हम जो 17 लाख लखपति दीदी बनले ये 5,000 टंका नहीं बनना ओडिशा नंबर 1 है महाराष्ट्र नंबर 2 पड़ेगा गोटे कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डअप हम यहाँ गोटे प्रक्रियार आरंभ जे जिते बड़े अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी परमाणु परीक्षण कले मु खाली टे कि समस्त नॉलेज कहवाक चाहूँगी विषयांतर मुझे से अटल जी को पाखे गोटे $1 बिलियन नाला एवं सी सारा विश्वर एनआरआई समस्त कहले जे तुम साहाय्य कर सारा विश्व मत जेहेतु आम बासंद करुचे सारा विश्व एक होती मात्र $4.22 बिलियन मिलला माने $4 बिलियन मिलला डेवलपमेंट काम बंद हेनी जो सारा विश्व पचारला जे समस्ते सरेंडर कले केमती आपण सामना कले से गोटे लाइन में कहते जे भारतर इंटरनल इकोनॉमी एते स्ट्रांग आम माँ भूणी मैंने एति टंका संचय କରିବା ମାନସିକତାରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ମାନସିକ ଶକ୍ତି ଏତେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଭାରତବର୍ଷକୁ ଲଢ଼ି ପାରିଲା ସାରା ବିଶ୍ୱ ସହିତ ଆମେ କାହାକୁ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ନଇଲୁ ନାହିଁ ପରମାଣୁ ପରୀକ୍ଷଣ କଲୁ। ଆଜି ଅଟଳ ବିହାରୀ ବାଜପେୟୀ ଆସିଲା ପରେ ଆଜି ଯେଉଁ କଥା ପ୍ରତାପ ଭାଇ କହୁଥିଲେ ରାଇଟଲି କହୁଥିଲେ ଯେ ଇନଫ୍ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ସେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲେ। କେହି ଜାଣିପାରିଲେନି 14 ଲକ୍ଷ କୋଟି ଟଙ୍କା ଋଣରେ ବୁଡ଼ିଥିଲା ଦେଶ କେହି ଜାଣିଲେନି ତାକୁ ପରିଶୋଧ କଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଟଙ୍କା ଟଙ୍କା ଡିଜେଲ ପେଟ୍ରୋଲ ଆମଠୁ ନେଲେ ଆମେ ବି ଜାଣିପାରିଲେନି। 54,000 କୋଟି ଟଙ୍କାରେ ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ହାଇୱେ ବନେଇଲେ 60,000 କୋଟି ଟଙ୍କା ଗାଁ ସଡ଼କ ଯୋଜନା ବନେଇଲେ 80,000 କୋଟିରେ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରିଫିକେସନ୍ ଗାଁରେ ପହଞ୍ଚେଇଲେ 30,000 କୋଟି ପିଇବା ପାଣି ଦେଲେ। ତ ଇନଫ୍ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର ପରେ ଭାରତବର୍ଷର ପ୍ରଗତି କିଏ ଅଟକେଇ ପାରିବନି। ଏ ଯେଉଁ ଇନଫ୍ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର କଥା କହୁଥିଲେ ଇଏ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥାଟା ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଲା ତାପରେ ଦେଶ 19 ନମ୍ବରରୁ 11 ନମ୍ବରକୁ ଆସିଗଲା କାରଣ ଇନଫ୍ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ଗୋଟେ ବଡ଼ ବିଷୟ। ଯେଉଁ କଥା କହୁଛନ୍ତି ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ପାଣି ନେଲାନି ପଞ୍ଚାୟତ ଏକମତ ନୁହଁ। ଆଜି ପାଣି ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ହାଇଏଷ୍ଟ ୱାଟର ରିସୋର୍ସ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ୟୁପି ହେଉଛି 4 ଗୁଣା ରାଜ୍ୟ ତାର ନମ୍ବର 1 ୱାଟର ରିସୋର୍ସ ରାଜ୍ୟ ଆମେ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ହାଇଏଷ୍ଟ ଆମେ ଜଳ ସମ୍ପଦରେ ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ନମ୍ବରରେ କିନ୍ତୁ ତାର ପାଣିର ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଆମେ କରିବାନି। ସେଠି ପାଣି ବର୍ଷା ହେଉଛି 3 ଦିନ ସେମାନେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆମର ବର୍ଷା ହେଉଛି ଆମେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି ଏ ଗଲା ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ବିଷୟ। ଆଜି ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଜାଗାରେ ଆମେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଛନ୍ତି। ଆଜି ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ଜାଗାରେ ଆମେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଆମେ ପରାଧୀନତା ପରେ ବି ଆମର ଯେଉଁ ଆମ ମାନସିକତାରେ ଯାହା ଥିଲା ଆଜି ସେ ଜିନିଷ ନାହିଁ ଆମର କନଫିଡେନ୍ସ ବିଲ୍ଡଅପ୍ ହେଇଛି। ଆଜି ଆପଣ କୁହନ୍ତୁ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଲୋକ ମୁଁ ତ ଗର୍ବ ଅନୁଭବ କରେ ଏମିତି ଭାରତବର୍ଷରେ 90% କମ୍ପାନୀ ଅଛି ଯେଉଁଠି ମାଲିକଟି ଅଲଗା ହେଇପାରେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଲୋକଟି ପୁରା ତା କମ୍ପାନୀ ଚଲାଉଛି। ଯେତେ ବଡ଼ କମ୍ପାନୀ ନାଁ ଆପଣ ନେଇପାରନ୍ତି ଯେତେ କମ୍ପାନୀ ଭାରତବର୍ଷରେ ଅଛି ଯେତେ ଡକ୍ଟର ନାଁ ନେବେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଲୋକ ସବୁ ଜାଗାରେ ଲିଡ଼ିଂ ଡକ୍ଟର ସାରା ବିଶ୍ୱରେ। ଆଜି ଆମେ ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ଲୋକ ସବୁଠୁ ଭଲ ଇଞ୍ଜିନିୟର ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ଲୋକ ସବୁଠୁ ବେଶୀ ପଇସା ହେଲା ଯିଏ ଘରୁ ଆଜି ହାଇଦ୍ରାବାଦରେ 2ଟା ପଇସା ହେଲା ଖୋଜିବେ ପୁରା ଏୟାରପୋର୍ଟ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଜାଗା ଯିଏ କିଣିଛି ଭୀମ ବିଶ୍ୱାଳ ଭୀମ ନା 2ଟା ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଲୋକ ଯାଇଥିଲେ ଦାଦନ ଶ୍ରମିକ ହେଇକି ସେମାନେ ଆଜି ପୁରା ଏଣ୍ଟାୟାର ପ୍ରପର୍ଟି କିଣିକି ଅଛନ୍ତି। ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଲୋକଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଯୋଗ୍ୟତା ଅଛି। ଆଜି କହୁଛନ୍ତି ତ୍ରିଲୋଚନ କ'ଣ ଆପଣ ଖସଡ଼ା ବନେଇଛନ୍ତି କାଗଜପତ୍ରରେ ଖସଡ଼ା ବନାଯାଏନି ଏଇଟା ଇନଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ମୁଁ ଡିସିସନ୍ ନେଲି ଯେମିତି ପ୍ରତାପ ଭାଇ କହିଲେ ଯେ ଧାନ ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ହେଲି ସେ ବି ସପ୍ଲାଏ ମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ମୋ ପରେ ହେଲେ ସେ ଜାଣିଥିବେ ଯେ ଆମେ ଡିସିସନ୍ ନେଲୁ ଅଲ୍ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କର ସବୁ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଚେୟାରମ୍ୟାନକୁ ଡାକିଲୁ ଏଠି ଆମେ 0 ଆକାଉଣ୍ଟ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲୁ 56 ଲକ୍ଷ ଆକାଉଣ୍ଟ ଖୋଲିଲୁ ଧାନ କିଣିବା ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲୁ। ଆଜି ଚାଷୀର ରୋଜଗାରକୁ ଯେ ଦ୍ୱିଗୁଣା ଆମେ ନ କରିବା ଆମେ ମନରେ ଆସିଲା ନାହିଁ ଧାନ ଏଠି ଅକ୍ସନରେ ମୁଁ ଧାନ କିଣିବି ଏବଂ ସବୁ ଯଦି ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କର ରାଜି ହେଲେ 0 ଆକାଉଣ୍ଟ ଖୋଲାଗଲା ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଆକାଉଣ୍ଟରେ ଧାନ କିଣାଗଲା ତ ଆମେ 10 ଲକ୍ଷ ମେଟ୍ରିକ୍ ଟନ୍ ଚାଉଳ ଆଣୁଥିଲୁ ହରିୟାଣାରୁ ପଞ୍ଜାବରୁ ସେ ତ ମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଥିଲେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ଏକାଛେକେ ଆମେ 46 ଲକ୍ଷ ମେଟ୍ରିକ୍ ଟନ୍ ଗଲୁ କେନ୍ଦ୍ର ସରକାର ଆମକୁ ଟଙ୍କାଟିଏ ଦେଲେନି ଗୋଡାଉନ୍ କରିବାକୁ ଆମେ 882 କୋଟି ଲାଭ କଲୁ ତା ଦେହରେ ଆମେ ଗୋଡାଉନ୍ ତିଆରି କଲୁ 5 ଲକ୍ଷ କୋଟି। ଆପଣ ଯଦି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଷରେ 5 ଲକ୍ଷ 6 ଲକ୍ଷ ମେଟ୍ରିକ୍ ଟନ୍ ପାଖାପାଖି ଗୋଡାଉନ୍ ତିଆରି କରିପାରିଲି ମୁଁ ଯଦି 7 ଲକ୍ଷରୁ ଏକାଛେକେ 46 ଲକ୍ଷ ମେଟ୍ରିକ୍ ଟନ୍ ଇନ୍ ଟର୍ମ ଅଫ୍ ରାଇସ୍ ପ୍ରଡ୍ୟୁସ୍ ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଷ କଲି ମୁଁ 19ଟାରେ ଯେଉଁ ଚାଉଳ ଦେଲି ମୁଁ ଚାଉଳ 10 ଲକ୍ଷ ମେଟ୍ରିକ୍ ଟନ୍ ଆଣୁଥିଲି ଯଦି ଗୋଟିଏ ବର୍ଷରେ ସମ୍ଭବ ହେଲା ଏଥିପାଇଁ ଖସଡ଼ା କ'ଣ ଦରକାର। ଆପଣ ମକା 500 ଟଙ୍କା କମ୍ରେ ବିକ୍ରି ହେଉଥିଲା ଉମରକୋଟରେ ମୁଁ ରାତାରାତି ଅର୍ଡ଼ର ନେଲି କଂଗ୍ରେସ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଥାଏ ଶରଦ ପାୱାର ମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଥାନ୍ତି ଯେ କାଲି ମକା ସକାଳ 6ରେ କିଣାଯିବ କିଣିଲୁ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଦିନ 10ଟା ଭିତରେ 4 ଘଣ୍ଟା ଭିତରେ ମକା ରେଟ୍ 500 ଟଙ୍କା ଟପିକି ଅକ୍ସନ୍କୁ ପଳେଇଲା। ତେଣୁ ଆପଣ ତେଲ ରୁଚି କେତେ ଟଙ୍କା ତେଲ ବିକୁଥିଲା ଆମେ ଖାଲି ଜାହାଜ ଲୋଡ଼ ହେଲା ପାରାଦ୍ୱୀପରେ ପହଞ୍ଚି ନାହିଁ ରୁଚି ତେଲ ରେଟ୍ କମେଇକି 50 ଟଙ୍କା ଆସିଗଲା। ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ରହିବେ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ଆପ୍ଲାଏ ନ କରିବେ ପିଆଜ କାହିଁ ବିକ୍ରି ହେଲା 8 ଟଙ୍କାରେ ମୁଁ ପିଆଜ 3 ଟଙ୍କାରେ ଆସି ବିକିଲି 2 ଘଣ୍ଟା ବିକିଲେ ମୋ କଲେକ୍ଟର ଏସ୍ପି ପିଆଜ ରେଟ୍ 3 ଟଙ୍କା ହେଇଗଲା ଓଡ଼ିଶା।
ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି ସାର୍
ଆପଣ ପ୍ଲାନିଂ କଲେ ସରକାରରେ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ରହିବେ ସେମାନେ ଟିକେ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ଆପ୍ଲାଏ କରିବେ ସରକାର କେମିତି ଚାଲିବ।
ଓକେ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ଆପ୍ଲାଏ କରିବେ ସବୁ ସରକାର ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ଆପ୍ଲାଏ କରନ୍ତି ବର୍ମନ ବାବୁ ମୁଁ ଆସି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ
ମୁଁ 95 ବିଶ୍ୱାସ ଦେବି ଯେ ଆପଣ ମିନିମମ୍ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ସରକାର ତାର ନିଜର ଇଚ୍ଛା ଶକ୍ତି ରଖିବ 3 ବର୍ଷ 3.5 ବର୍ଷ ଅଛି ଆପଣ କଳ୍ପନା କରିପାରିବେନି ବହୁତ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ହେବ କାରଣ ଏ 1.5 ବର୍ଷ आम गोटे सरकार आम कर 15 जन मंत्री एमएलए ही नथिले मंत्री ही नथिले मंत्री मुख्यमंत्री होती को जानापी शिखापी समय लगे एवं सरकार चलवा आरंभ हो दौड़ा आरंभ हो दौड़ा जो दिन आरंभ वर्ष भितर आप केते बड़ परिवर्तन देखिए
दौड़ा आरंभ होनी मनमोहन बाबू ठीक अच्छे प्रताप बाबू ये सब कथा उपरे आमे जतेबेले चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट माने आम आगे अच्छी मु आपनक ठारो से प्रश्न आरंभ करी एवं तीन जनक ठारो से उत्तर नेबी जे आपण मंत्री रही सारी राज्य शासन रे आपणकर बहुत अनुभव रही जो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट माने आम आगे बसी ओडिशार चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट से माने ओडिशार उन्नति रे विकास पाई कौन सहयोग करें राजनैतिक दल गुड़ी को आ राजनैतिक नेता मानू आ शासन प्रक्रिया रे प्रताप बाबू
मान जो आपणकर प्रथम मुक्ति मु आपण प्रश्न उत्तर आरंभ करुच्ची आपण एआई को पचारे ये जी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट अच्छा ये केते लोक भीतर अच्छा से आंसर देला 2.1%। सो आप प्रश्न सीधा उत्तर आप एआई ठू पाई सेउटा आप आरंभ कर दो हाउ इज अ सीए responsible for driving the growth.
Yes.
आज एजेंडा तो यह on the background of समृद्ध ओडिशा 2036 and विकसित भारत at the rate 47। जदि दीटा जिनस को आप देखिए मोट पर अर्थनैतिक पॉलिसी इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन एंड सोशल सेक्टर डेवलपमेंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट ये 4-5टा जिनस को मिसेगी जिनसटा आसो ये जो ये बहुत किसी डिपेंड कला सरकार का गवर्नेंस पर जो कथा मनोहर करमी ड्राइव करेंगे हाउ द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ओडिशा विल ड्राइव दिस एजेंडा इज $1 million क्वेश्चन इज द बिगेस्ट क्वेश्चन मार्क नाउ कीपिंग दिस इन द बैकग्राउंड इफ यू कम टू द सीए हु आर द सीए दे आर द पीपल हु मैनेज द फाइनेंसेस ऑफ टैक्स पेयर्स नाउ टैक्स आर ऑफ टू टाइप्स डायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट तो डायरेक्ट टैक्स जोटा अच्छी गवर्नमेंट रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन जहाँ अच्छी गवर्नमेंट चाहूँ समस्त धन धन योजना समस्त बैंक अकाउंट खोलेला सेकेंड इन्फ्यूजन ऑफ मनी थ्रू बैंक अकाउंट्स आरंभ है थर्ड यूपीआई सिस्टम में ट्रांजेक्शन आरंभ है तो परोक्ष जोटा डायरेक्ट टैक्स नेट रे मात्र 1.5 कोटी 2 कोटी लोक रोते आज पाखापाखि 9 कोटी 9.5 कोटी लोक सारा भारतवर्ष पशिले तो इनडायरेक्टली एटा गवर्नमेंट गोटे फॉर्मुलेशन इट्स अ पॉलिसी वेयर बाय यूजिंग यूपीआई ओपनिंग बैंक अकाउंट्स एंड ट्रांजैक्शन थ्रू बैंक मेक्स द प्रोसेस ट्रांसपेरेंट जोटा कि डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन पॉलिसी रे गवर्नमेंट नेटिंग बा मैनेजमेंट अगेन एठी आसिले सीए हाउ दे मैनेज इज अ सेपरेट ट्राजेक्टरी ऑल टुगेदर एवं एटा गोटे नुआ दिशा यूपीआई ट्रांजैक्शन आगे नथला एबे यूपीआई रे प्राय ट्रांजैक्शन होउची इवन द ग्रेपवाइन हैज इट दैट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज मलिंग टू इवन डिनोटिफाई द 500 रुपी नोट भविष्य में यहाँ प्लान अच्छी सरकार केदूर कार्यकारी हम कौन हम मुझे जानी ना सरकार जानवे किंतु टोटल जो आप यूपीआई ट्रांजेक्शन डिजिटलाइज करदे तो डेफिनेटली टैक्स इवेजन आउ आपणकर टैक्स उपर नॉलेज एंड टैक्स मैनेजमेंट बिकम्स वेरी इंपोर्टेंट वेयर द सीए हैज गॉट द मेजॉरिटी एंड द सोल अथॉरिटी टू डील विथ नंबर 1 इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस को यदि आप आसवे यू कम टू द जीएसटी which is now become the biggest revenue earner for Government of India and SGST for the various states. Now, your entire business community is involved. And partial to koi bhi bahut kam, still about 20% agri business, not agriculture as such, but agri production. Agro business about 20% is also included in the GST tax. Like mudi chuda par madhya GST achi. तेणुक आपड़ जो इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स मैनेजमेंट बर्तमान आगे नाला जोटा कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट प्रोव्यू रे आप सेल्स टैक्स बा कमर्शियल टैक्स वाला बुझुले बर्तमान डायरेक्ट जीएसटी प्रत्येक माने राज्य होगा कंट्रोल बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया सो अगेन द सीए रो इंपोर्टेंस बढ़ीगला दैट इज फॉर द सैलरीड पीपल एंड द कॉर्पोरेट पीपल और द पीपल हु आर इन द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर आपको आसीगले आप जो इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस मेजॉरिटी का 100% आप सर्विस सेक्टर पशिगला छोटो बिजनेस क्षुद्र बिजनेस पार्ट एग्रीकल्चर एंड एंटायर सर्विस सेक्टर कम्स अंडर जीएसटी नाउ द रोल ऑफ मैनेजिंग बोथ द फाइनेंसेस तो आम ऑडियंस जो मैंने अच्छा सीए बंधु मैंने अच्छा या रोलटा मैग्निफाइड मल्टीप्लाइड इंटू 100 होगा ना द क्राइसिस इज मुझे आज एक्चुअली मुझे इनविटेशन एक्सेप्ट कर आसापे केवल कथा कहवाई लाइक एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्रेशन गवर्नमेंट कर लाइक वेरियस सोशल वेलफेयर स्कीम गवर्नमेंट करुच्छ समय आसीगलानी जेहेतु गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया रो जो ट्राजेक्टरी धरछन्ती 47 36 एंड 47 जो ट्राजेक्टरी डुअल ट्राजेक्टरी धरछन्ती फाइनेंशियल ब्रेन सभा कथा बिजनेस लोकंकर जोटा कि नाही
एग्जैक्टली हां
लिंक रोड रु आपण बादामबाड़ी है कि दोलमुंडे जीवे जेतक छोटिया दुकान अच्छी समस्त जीएसटी पिन नंबर धरिकी बही हाउ टू व्हाट इज द फाइनेंशियल कंसर्न हु इज गिविंग देम भारत द्वारा शून्यपिंडा हवा छड़ा आ उपाय किसी ना हाँ इनिशियल स्टेज पीपल आर नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग समय आसो जनरेशन नेक्स्ट जो आसुच्च दे आर मोर एजुकेटेड मोर एनलाइटेड से माने ये पाठटा बुझिबे एवं आपण को रोलटा 3 गुण बढ़िबो
बहुत इंपोर्टेंट
काउंसलिंग ऑफ tax both direct and indirect now has to become a part of the curriculum of schools and colleges apart from BA BCom or management studies this should be a common subject because majority of the people जे भी स्कूल पाठ पढ़ू +2 पाठ पढ़ू ग्रेजुएशन पाठ पढ़ू आगु को जाऊ कम से कम टैक्स विषय नॉलेज न होले आपण जो 2047 विजन रे केवल चोरी बाहरिबो
आज्ञा बहुत बड़ा कथा टे कहले प्रताप बाबू
आई हैव नॉट कंप्लीटेड लेट मी लास्ट पॉइंट
कोन प्रताप
लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट जो कथा मु बारंबार कहउतले आज्ञा या पूर्व टिके ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स आजिकल गाँ को जातु 95 अच्छा मनमोहन बोथ बिलोंग टू अ रूरल बैकग्राउंड आज सभापति अच्छा आज्ञा एक्स मिनिस्टर थे मुझे आज एमएलए अच्छी अतीतर मंत्री थी 3 of us बिलोंग टू रूरल बैकग्राउंड आज्ञा आम गाँव में आजिकल दालुआ चाष होना खरा दिन रबी फसल चाष होना ता कारण हूँ नुआ जनरेशन पिला चाष को जावाई नाराज दे आर जॉइनिंग द सर्विस सेक्टर अपवर्ड लिविंग मेंटालिटी हो गलानी मु पछे जाइए हैदराबाद रे छोट काम करी कि गाँव में धान काटबी ना सोशली मत डिग्रेडेशन लगुच तेणुक मु बाहर को जी दशहरा समय बैग कांधे आसबि गाँव लोग कहे पिला हैदराबाद रू आइला दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट द मेंटालिटी इन द विलेज तो या द्वारा हूँ कौन द चेंज इन द माइंडसेट ये पिला आगे बढ़िया जाऊँगी जिते शीघ्र रोजगार करने जाऊँगी बट ही डज नॉट नो हाउ टू मैनेज हिज फाइनेंसेस रूरल एरिया एपर्यंत पेनिट्रेशन ऑफ जीएसटी है ना एपर्यंत टैक्स नेट को लोक जाई ना कि सरकार पॉलिसी जहाँ कहूँ आस्ते 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 आपन को वन्स आपन आधार कार्ड इंट्रोड्यूस हो गला आपनकर वोटर सब डिजिटाइज हो आपनकर जीएसटी पैन कार्ड आसीगला ये सब जिन होगला नुआ जनरेशन को आगू को बढ़िया कले ये विषय नॉलेज हमार एकांत आवश्यकता अच्छी तेणुक ये विषय प्रचार प्रचार सरकार एवं एज वेल एज द एसोसिएशन एकांत
आवश्यकता रही पंचानन बाबू मु प्रश्न को जाई थांती आ से प्रश्नर अधा उत्तर प्रताप बाबू दे भी देले जो कथा को लेकर आलोचना हुए मु थरे ट्रेन रे आसुथली जने चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट ओडिसा रो आसुथिले मु पचारली जे आपणकर एनी कथा हो जे केते टंका कोन रोजगार करंती से निजर रोजगार कथा तो कहले तापर कहले जे आमे केमती सरकार को काम रे आस परिबो आमे जानिनु ए प्रश्न मते से पचारिले मु कहली जे समान कथा जोटा प्रताप बाबू कहले जे दुकान बाजार रे लोकंकर बॉक्स रे लक्ष लक्ष टंका अछि किंतु कोन करिवे जानि पारु नांते आ सेमानक मन रे प्रश्न जे जीएसटी हमकु डरौची कोन केमती करिवो आपण भाबंती कि जो चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट माननको आमे ए कथा सुनौछु से माने फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी जे फाइनेंस संपर्क रे लोक माने जानिवे ताकू नेकिरी लोक मानक पाखको पहुंचवा दरकार सरकार को सहयोग रे
सी मानकर गुरु दायित्व अछि आपण जो कथा कहउचंती प्रथमे सरकार जो कथा गुड़ सरकार वो सी ये तफात होचे या सरकार 2 रे 2 मिसेले केतबेले 22 कहीदेवे किंतु सी मैंने 2 रे 2 मिसेले 4 बा आउ किछि अधिक बोलिकरी तांको हिसाब रे थोइबे एटु से दृष्टि से माने जो आग कहिबे जे सरकार तबे जहाँ कहूच ठीक अच्छे विजन पेपर रही ठीक अच्छे किंतु यही जगार तुम भूल करुच कारण यही कथाटा आदौ घटबार ना बा घटू ना कारण तार कारण हूँ यही गुड़िक चैलेंजेस अच्छी ये चैलेंज गुड़ी को तुम भेटी ना कारण अंकटा कसला बेले कौन कौन धारा तो पड़ो से धारा गुड़िक तुम सब ओभरलुक कर जाइच ये गुड़िक सी कहीपर सरकार को सरकार सी एमानकर गोष्ठीगत भाव हो बा इंडिविजुआल हो कारण व्यक्तिगत भाव में ये अनेक सी अच्छा जो मानकर सरकार सहित संपर्क अच्छे सरकार को कहीपर कथा को गुरुत्व दे विचार करवा उचित प्रचार प्रसार करिबारे किसी आपत्ति नहीं प्रचार प्रसार कले जे
सरकारी दलर लाभ हुए सरकार लाभ हुए नहीं बा राज्यवासी लाभ हुए नहीं ए विषय समस्ते जानी जा उचित।
आज्ञा मनमोहन बाबू आपण बोधवे प्रतिश्रुति भी दे पारिबे जो चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट माने आपण मानकु सुनुचंती आउ जो इम्पोर्टेंट कथा मु मेंशन भी करिथांती जे ओडिसा रे जहा तथ्य कहा जाए जे जो माने पाठ साठ भी पढ़िचंती फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी रो बहुत अभाव रहिछि से माने ना पैसा को मैनेज करी जानती ना इन्वेस्टमेंट करी जानती ना कोनोसी प्रकार कार्य करी जानती आ जो माने बिजनेस सेक्टर रे रही करी आगो को जिबे बोली छोट छोट व्यवसाय करिचंती तांको पाखरे फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी रो बहुत अभाव अछि आपणक सरकार प्रतिश्रुति दबो कि जे ओडिसा रे थिबा चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट मानकु ओडिसार काम रे व्यवहार करिकरी सेमानंक पाखकु ज्ञान पहुंचेबे जो ज्ञानर आवश्यकता आपणक सरकार को 2036 रे गोटे बड़ जगह को पहुंचेबो।
गोटे विषय जेहेतु सुजोग मिली कहवाई स्वाधीनता पाखापाखि आम राज्य कलिकता जड़े बेंगली पिला आसिले बीकॉम पास करी ताकू अपेक्षा करिया पड़ुला आमर ऑडिट करिया मु धन्यवाद देवी हजार चार्टर्ड कॉन्फ्रेंस को आसिया बड़ सौभाग्य ओडिशा कौन हो पारे एवं आमे कलिकतार गोटे चार्टर्ड अकाउंट मीटिंग आम डाकिलु हल जगह दे पार्लुन हल फुल हो गला बस जगह दे पार्लु दिल्ली रे कटुराईसराई थर बैठक डाकिलु तादर 99% चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट थे ये चाकरी कर चाकरी कर चाकरी जे आम पढ़ुंट चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एवं ये स्थिति ओडिशा गोटे बीकॉम पिलार अपेक्षा रोला कि ऑडिट कर किसी वर्ष पर आज आम ये अवस्था अच्छु मुझे बिल्कुल आशावादी 2.1 से बिल्कुल ये बहुत आगू ओडिशा जाइए आउ निश्चित भाव में आम जो स्ट्रक्चर अच्छी केंद्र बजेट एथर अधिकांश लोक टिकस दिंतु स्ट्रक्चर जो जी % पड़ो स्लाब वाइज जो इनकम टैक्स स्लाब आज ये धीरे 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 अधिक लोक टिकस दवा सुजोग को अंतर्भुक्त हे धीरे धीरे ये उठीज 30% टैक्स मत आखियार जल जल देखा गवर्नमेंट रिस्क फास्ट टाइम नबनी ट्रायल मेथड कर गवर्नमेंट किंतु आज लोकों भीतर अवेयरनेस बढ़ी जो कथा कि प्रताप भाई कहते 95 कहते निश्चित लोकंर आगु मो प्रॉपर्टी मु डिस्क्लोज करी मु देखेबी जमी बिकिले मुझे ब्लैक रे पैसा नेबी ये अकाउंट रे पैसा नेबी धीरे 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 लोक पेपर केमती तार तार निजर अकाउंट स्ट्रेंथन हम पेपर स्ट्रेंथन हम लोक धीरे धीरे बुझिले चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बहुत संख्यार दरकार कारण बहु लोक आगामी दिन में टिकस दवा स्थिति को आसी ओडिशार इकोनॉमी जो रेट रे ग्रोथ होची आम जो जगह जाऊँच आज गोटे संभावना राज्य चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट मानक गोटे प्रमुख भूमिका ओडिशा रहा निश्चय मु आशावादी जे समाज रे जेतिक लोक संपर्क से न्यूक्लियस मुझे कह न्यूक्लियस समाज रे अन्य मान जो मैंने चार्टर्ड अकाउंट भीतर जो मैंने आम सब ऑर्बिटर से पूरा पूरी विषय को आकर्षित करवा और लोक संपर्क आसवा आमर अर्थनीतिक अवस्था को अनुध्यान कर अनुसंधान करवा पर्यालोचना करवा आलोचना करवा ये गोटे प्रमुख भूमिका सोसाइटी अच्छी से संख्यार कम हो पारती किंतु प्रभाव रे बहुत अधिका ए विषय में स्वीकार करी
आज्ञा प्रताप बाबू पंचानन बाबू और मनमोहन बाबू शेष प्रश्नर उत्तर मो ठारू आपण मानक ठारू मु सुनिया पई चाहिए प्रताप बाबू गोटे सजेशन आपण देई परिबे कि चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट मानकु कारण साधारण भाव में लोक मानकर गोटे धारणा रही जे पैसा को टिके जदि पाखरे अधिक रखिबार अच्छी ताले चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को डाक से मैनेज करि नबो को पटे बिल पके को पटे कोन करी ए प्रकार गोटे कांसेप्ट हमें सुनिचु कथावार्ता हवा समय रे जे मो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट ए काम करि दबो आपण किछि सजेशन दवा पई चाहिबे कि चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट माननको जे तांकर योगदान निज तरफ कौन हवा दरकार
आज्ञा चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट काम होचे सही आपन जो कहते जोगाड़ करदे से तो पाठ पढ़ी से करिया आपन कहते वृत्ति विरुद्ध रे कहते आपन वकील कह मिछ कहना केमि हो आज्ञा मोर केवल छोटिया कथा आपण मानक समस्त कहया कथा समस्त आपण फील्ड रे आपण माने विज्ञ मो कहया कथा लुकिंग एट द विजन डॉक्यूमेंट 47 and 36 लुकिंग एट द गवर्नमेंट्स ट्रैजेक्टरी मे बी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट मे बी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन को से जो भली भाव फ्लिप देबे दैट मीन सर्कुलेशन ऑफ मनी इन द मार्केट बढ़िबो
आज्ञा
नंबर 1 बढ़िले तार ट्रिकल डाउन इफेक्ट हेकि तल पर्यंत जीव मोर आज्ञा आपण मानक एतिक अनुरोध एवं इयाडे अपर साइड कौन ह्यूमन इंडेक्स जो कथा मुझे बुझाऊली जनरेशन जी जोटा जोटा बर्तमान आज तारीख में 15 ରୁ 25-30 वर्ष भितर जो मैंने अच्छा पैसा रोजगार करने चाहते दे वांट टू मैनेज दर मनी जिते शीघ्र टू लीड टू अ गुड लाइफ दैट इज द रियलिटी तो ये दुईटा भितर जदि आपण जिते आपण क्लाइंटेन को पैसा सेव करें थ्रू वेरियस मीन्स बतई पारे से बेसिकली यू आर फीडिंग टू दिस जनरल मान द अपकमिंग जनरेशन नंबर 1 नंबर 2 गवर्नमेंट जो स्कीमेटिक जिनस होची गवर्नमेंट जो माने नंबर 3 जीडीपी को जावाई चाहते 30 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी को टार्गेट रखुच्च 47 पर्यंत एवं ये जो 47 पर 30 ट्रिलियन करवा माने एवरीथिंग विल बी डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड तो जिते यूपीआई बढ़िबो जिते डिजिटल जिते एआई बढ़िबो सब इनडायरेक्टली इंपैक्ट आपण वृत्ति पर आगे बढ़िबो फॉर एग्जांपल जीएसटी नॉर्मल प्रोसेस रे सबडी वुड हैव गॉन थ्रू अ सीए तो एते सिंप्लीफाइड कराई जदि जने भल किना व्यवसाय बुझी जीवो ता घरे बसी निजे नेटर कर परिबो दे डोंट रिक्वायर कंसल्टेशन और एनीथिंग टू डू विथ अ सीए सो आजिकल जो नुआ जनरेशन जोटा आसुची खास कर इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस डायरेक्ट टैक्सेस रे आपन दरकार सदाबले पड़िबो कॉर्पोरेट टैक्सेस रे आपन दरकार सदाबले पड़िबो बट एज फार एज जीएसटी इज कंसर्न एंड इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस आर कंसर्न गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग टू सिंप्लीफाई दोस थिंग्स तो यार इम्पैक्ट डेफिनेटली both will have a positive and a negative impact. How your association will take it forward, how the new upcoming CAs will modulate, and looking at the social mindset of the generation next, how you will modulate will be the biggest challenge.
आज्ञा पंचानन बाबू आपनकर सजेशन परामर्श
वर्तमान राज्य देश रे राज्य रे मध्य रूपा और सुनार दर हु होई बढ़ी जाउछि सो लोक मान को गोटे प्रकार मानसिकता आसी जाइछि जे आमे किछि जदि ए प्रकार किनिदेबु आउ किछि समय पर 2 वर्ष पर आमे अधिक टंका फेरी पाइबु सेटा गोटे मारात्मक अर्थनैतिक अव्यवस्था सृष्टि करिवो आम राज्य क्षेत्र में भारत वर्ष रे सीए मान को मोर विनम्र निवेदन तांकर जेहेतु समस्त जो मान तांक पाखक आसुचंती महकिल माने से महकिल माने समस्त होचंती किछि पैसा वाला जे किछि सेव करचंती पैसा एपरि अस्थिर अवस्था सुना रूपार अस्थिरता भितर से जमती अधिक न पड़ जाती एवं पढ़ा फल राज्य और देश में आहरी अधिक अस्थिरता सृष्टि होवार जो आशंका रही से जमती निष्कृति मिले राज्यवासी को राज्य बजेट को केंद्र सरकार व्यवस्था को एतक से मैंने करेंगे बोल के मोर अनुरोध कारण तांको कथा को महकिल माने मानिबे एवं से अनुसार से तैयारी करेंगे बोलिक आशा करे
आज्ञा मनमोहन बाबू आपनकर शेष परामर्श
मु तो डाक्तर वकिल चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट 3 जन माने कौन भगवान बापा माँ पर एम कथा को आम ग्रहण करूँ तेणु एम जहाँ कहते आम विश्वास करूँ और मोर व्यक्तिगत मत व्यक्ति चरित्र तो बदल हेनी किंतु सिस्टम डेवलपमेंट दरकार व्यवस्था को टिके डेवलप करिया पड़ो आ विकसित केमती हम आपड़ जदि मु भावुची टिके कष्ट हो पारे प्रोफेशन में किंतु गोटे पॉजिटिव वे जदि आप लोक मान भीतर अवेयरनेस और तांको भीतर मानसिक परिवर्तन आने आपड़ जदि थरे अधे चेष्टा करेंगे ये भूल काम करनी कहीं सिस्टम रे लोक अवेयरनेस बढ़ले समाज रे बहुत लाभ हो पार आपण कथा विश्वास कर कारण मते मोर जी विश्वास अच्छी जे समाज को प्रभावित कर आपण गोटे प्रमुख भूमिका रही से कार्यटी आपण करेंगे जे जहाँ क्लाएंट कह आप न करी आपण क्लाएंट को बुझेबे जे तुम्हें ये कार्य कर यहाँ हूँ आप मार्गदर्शक हूँ कारण आपन से मानुची आपड़ जदि कहे यहाँ राइट से राइट तार माइंड अप्लाई कर समय नहीं समय भी नहीं से तार मानसिकता जो मोर जमी प्रताप भाई कहले प्रैक्टिकल कथा ये जनतन प्रकार मत टे साहय कर दियो सेवा कर से नुहे टिके सत कहवाटा कष्ट न्याय करवाटा कष्ट किंतु थरे यदि है ताले 1000टा मिछ अपेक्षा गोटे थर सत कहवाटा भल ଆଉ ସତ କହିଲେ 2 ମିନିଟ୍ କଷ୍ଟ ହେବ କିନ୍ତୁ ଜାଣିବ ମୋ ଚାର୍ଟାର୍ଡ ଆକାଉଣ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ପାଠଶାଠ ଜାଣିଛି ମୋତେ ଠିକ୍ ରାସ୍ତାରେ ପରିଚାଳିତ କରୁଛି। ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ବହୁତ ବହୁତ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ।
बहुत सुंदर कथा टे कहले गोटे सिनेमार डायलॉग अच्छी अमिताभ बच्चन को पचरा जाउछि जे आपके पैसे के बारे में बताइए से कुछ सीए है ना मु सेमती आशा करी ओडिशार विकास पाई आप लोग है ना। बहुत धन्यवाद आपण मानक आम सहित मनमोहन बाबू थिले प्रताप देव बाबू थिले एवं पंचानन बाबू थिले बहुत धन्यवाद आपणकर बहुमूल्य समय देले एवं बहुत सुंदर कथा एई मंच रे कहले बहुत धन्यवाद आपण मानक।
Sir, please. Sir, we have a little bit of left out. So we are really thankful to the speaker of this technical session for giving a practical insight to the topic Samruddha Odisha. We are really blessed to witness this deliberation, sir. I will fail on my duty to give a special mention to Manas sir for bringing out the best out of our guest today. Now, may I request C.A. Vivekanand Jena sir to present a memento to Sri Manmohan Samal ji. May I request C.A. Rudanand Kar sir to present a memento to Sri Pratap Dev sir. May I request C.A. Narayan Chaudhary sir to present a memento to Sri Panchanand Kanunga sir. C.A. Raja Narayan Tripathi sir to present a memento to Sri Manas Das sir. May I request Conference Chairman C.A. Rajiv Shekhar Sahu sir to kindly offer a vote of thanks.
धन्यवाद। मो पाखरे भाषा नहीं, आपण तीन जन को धन्यवाद की शब्द रे देवी। प्रथमे मानस तमुट आरंभ करी ना शेष करी? हाँ टिके रहिबे प्लीज डोंट मूव, प्लीज डोंट गो। निजर असुस्थता सत्वे खूब कम समय मध्य इनविटेशन पाई आमर बड़ भाई श्रीजुक्त मनमोहन सामल आसिचंती। से आज मध्य डॉक्टर एडवाइस करिजे आपण कोनोसी पब्लिक मीटिंग बा कोनोसी क्राउड को एड्रेस करिवे नहीं, ताकू भ्रुक्षेप न करी। जदिओ से जनरली डाक्तर कथा को सुनंतिनी, किंतु आज भी मध्य से भली से आसी आम मानक एते बढ़िया भाव गोटे ऑप्टिमिस्टिक इंस्पायरिंग व्यू देले मु निश्चय मोर कृतज्ञता मो तरफरु आउ कॉन्फ्रेंस कमिटी तरफरु आपण को ज्ञापन करुछि एवं आशा करुछि जे आपण माने एमते आम प्रति जो लव एंड अफेक्शन ताकू बजाय रखिबे। आउ आपणकर साहाय्य ए कॉन्फ्रेंस रे आपण जहा करिसंती आमे केबे भूलिबु नहीं। श्रीजुक्त प्रताप देव आमे से तले सामनारे बसिथिले, तांकर सांगरे काम करथिले श्रीजुक्त हेमंत शर्मा। से कहले जे ही इज ए ब्रिलियंट पॉलिटिशियन। आ जेतेबेले आमे तांको सांगरे जाऊ कोनोसी टूर रे से कोनोसी लोकल चर्चा करंती नहीं। तांकर ग्लोबल व्यू एते अधिका जे आपण घंटा घंटा धरी तांक संगरे जाउथिबे आपण बोर हेबे नहीं। यू आर नॉट ए नॉर्मल पॉलिटिशियन, यू आर एन एक्सेप्शनल पॉलिटिशियन। एवं आपण जो प्रकार रे आपणकर वक्तव्य एवं मानस बढ़िया एंकर को डिमोलिश करवार क्षमता रखिंट से विशेष विशेष धन्यवाद। बहुत कम लोग ये पारे। आमर वयोज्येष्ठ राजनैतिक व्यक्तित्व एवं ज्ञानी व्यक्तित्व श्रीजुक्त पंचानन कानूनगो जे पूर्वर फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर मध्य थिले, वर्तमान कंसाइन कीपर टू द स्टेट। जेकोसी समय रे आमे जेतेबेले तांको पचारि थाउ बा टीवी रे तांको विभिन्न कार्यक्रम रे डाकी थांती, से तांकर यूनिक व्यू देई थांती जोटा कि अनेक समय रे कई एंटीसिपेट करि न थांती एवं सदाबेले गोटे डिफरेंट व्यू देई थांती जोटा कि गोटे आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स थिंकिंग रो कैरेक्टर। एवं आज जो प्रकार तीन जन राजनैतिक व्यक्तित्व तीन दलर थाई मध्य जो प्रकार आपण माने चर्चा को जो क्वालिटेटिवली आगु को नेले एवं जो प्रकार पूरा एंटायर सेशन रे आपण देखिथिबे कई हलचल है नांती एवं सेटा गोटे निदर्शन जे किभली भाव में आपण सब्जेक्ट को गोटे इंटेलेक्चुअल क्राउड को किभली भाव में आपण मोटिवेट करि पारुथिले। खाली गोटे कथा मो पाखरे बसथिले कहउथिले जे सरकार रे किभली चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट मानकर रोल अधिका हबो सेटा बोधे मानस बारंबार कहवा सत्ते सेटा एतेटा प्राधान्य पाई नथिला। किंतु मु एतिकी जानिछि जे आपण निश्चय रियलाइज करिवे जे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट माने फाइनेंशियल गवर्नेंस रु आरंभ करी फाइनेंशियल सब्जेक्ट को बुझिबा एवं एडवाइस करिबारे निश्चय तांकर पूर्ण दक्षता अछि एवं सेथिपाई आपण सम्मति दौचंती जे आपण चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट मानकर रोल अधिकर अधिका सरकारी स्तर में ग्रहण करेंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much. Special announcement. So I request everyone, please come with your family. So after half an hour, we'll start our cultural evening today. The first show is Karan Singh Magic. He is a fantastic mind reader. I believe you will enjoy that 1 hour. So I request everyone. So after that, we have our own Odia Osima Panda night. So I request everyone, please join with all of your family. And today we have also kept cocktail dinner for all of you. So whoever is interested for cocktail dinner, we have an adjacent building, Bhubaneswar Club Annex. So I request everyone who is interested for the cocktail dinner, please join there. Just adjacent building, Bhubaneswar Club Annex. So all other people will stay here for the cultural evening. And right now, the starter is in the left side of the venue. You can enjoy the starter. Within half an hour, we'll start again the cultural evening. Thank you so much.